And on the interchange for Carlton, McCormick and Oliver. And Rowe and Bone for the Adelaide side.
So we get underway here at Princes Park. And Madden in his 250th wins the first touch. Carlton get the first use of it. And out comes Bradley. Interesting that he should be playing on his state skipper. The ball punched down into the path of... Oh, gee whiz, that was a solid bump there. Now the Crows have it. They've turned it over at centre half back. Wren gets the ball to McGuinness. Anderson fighting hard for it. And eventually it's Lee. He's pulled off his kick. Comes to Brown, centering kick. Wren juggles the mark. Kernahan from behind, flips the ball up. Chance DiUlio, skirts round on the left, goes for goal and kicks it.
Well, a bad blue there, made by the big fella, Sean Wren. A chest mark. It looked to be a simple chest mark. It bounced out of his arms up in the air, giving Steve Kernahan the chance to get in there for that first touch there. It was a critical touch. He flipped it up in the air, and Ron DiUlio, who's made a big difference to this Carlton side, doing the roving, and a good goal on his left boot.
Great start to the Blues, into the slight breeze. Centre of the ground, DiUlio went without it. Here's Greg Williams. Oh, cleverly done by Williams. The long kick in towards full forward. Kernahan and Ben Hart. He did it well, the youngster. Hart gets it across. Scott Lee to centre wing. McKay goes up very, very high and punches the ball away. Adelaide through Rashudo to the half-forward line. Free kick. Dragged off the ball was Nigel Smart. No doubt about that.
So they're going, Peter, they're going with Smart at centre half-forward or across the half-forward line, and Ben Hart with the job on Kernahan.
Yes. And Smart, a very talented player, in towards full forward. Modra. Oh, almost took it. Silvani crashes his way through the back. Beautiful hand pass. Bradley races through centre of the ground. He's been in great form. He hooks it back to the pocket. Up towards Heaver. Did he have it? The umpire says he didn't have it. Free kick, holding the man. And it will be a kick against Scott Lee right in front of the little rover.
He did play it very cleverly there, Heaver. Kept it in front of him. He didn't actually take possession, as we see here. He did not grab the ball. Scott Lee, of course, not in a position to see what was happening in front there.
Here's the kick from Heaver. A debatable one. He's hit the post from 25 metres. And Bernie, looking at it in replay as we did, I don't know. I think he did take the ball. It was very, very line ball one, that one.
Line ball.
Probably play on might have been a better decision there.
Yeah, maybe, Pete.
Ben Hart, the youngster, 18 years old, with the job on Kernahan. Probably Kernahan was one of his heroes growing up. Here's Carlton going forward again. The hand pass dropped short of Alvin. Chance for Hogg, robbed of it by Anderson. Round the corner he goes. The kick is perfect. Tregenza takes the mark on the run. Kick by Tregenza to half forward. Dean, who's had a superb last month, takes the mark on his chest. Peter Dean up towards centre wing. Alvin needs to climb from behind. No mark. Madden paddles for Alvin. He's crunched down. Gleeson goes back to McKay. The kick inside the 50. Rashudo getting back there for the Crows. He'll be happy with finding the line.
And good work there by Steve Kernahan. Terrific stuff by the Carlton skipper.
Free kick here behind the plate of Hart against Kernahan.
Well, they came at him from all directions there. I think all he did was put on terrific pressure on Rashudo.
Well, he did drag him round the neck and throw him down, though, Bernie.
All right, Pete.
Yeah, it's kicked out wide to Visca. To the half-forward line. Here's Smart again. Gee, has a go, this guy. Here's McDermott. Oh, it's shuffled up towards Bradley. Now Williams. He's caught. And players coming on top of it. It's Peter Dean. Now Robran. There's no one down there for Adelaide at the moment. Now Modra. Shuffled out of it by Silvani. That'll be a great clash, and Silvani goes to the line. But going back 2 minutes ago, I criticised heavily Simon Tregenza a couple of weeks ago against Collingwood, kicking up there. He broke away. No one near him for 30 metres and kicked it straight to a Carlton man. He's got to improve his disposal.
Yes, he was pretty good last week against Footscray, Peter. His disposal was excellent.
Madden, a bit of a juggle. Down to Gleeson. He kicks into the pack. Out of there by Hogg. Rashudo can't mark. Maynard a hand pass to Bickley. 44 possessions last week, Bickley. Rouvray on the turn. Left footer up towards centre half forward. All Carlton. Madden might have marked, but he punched. Discipline from behind. Whistle's gone. Carlton player held, and the free kick to McKay. And that South Australian has been a top player in his first year in Melbourne. Alvin takes it quickly, out to Gleeson. Kicked by Gleeson. Kernahan, just outside 50. The hand pass off to Heaver. Heaver breaks a tackle, goes back into trouble. Back to Kernahan. Tregenza there with him. Kernahan tries to paddle. It's come unstuck. Back to Gleeson. Now 60 metres out. He paddles it through a player's legs. Bickley back there. Bickley looking for the line. Plays for the free kick. It's not coming. A throw in.
I think, Drew, that Ben Hart will have his problems with Kernahan. Kernahan with his height and agility and experience up against the 18-year-old in Hart.
Well, here's Fraser Brown receiving from Gleeson. That's Wren. McDermott. He's got backup support. Rashudo was dragged off the ball. Fraser Brown to Bradley. Bradley, unselfish play. Spalding stabs, and Spalding has goal. Carlton looking very, very good early in the piece. 2-1-13. Adelaide yet to score.
Yes, well, this is the sort of form they've displayed over the last couple of weeks, Carlton, especially last week, their third quarter against Geelong when they came out. Geelong kicked the first couple of goals. Carlton fought back tenaciously, and their work rate has been absolutely magnificent, especially in that third quarter, as I said.
Two-1 to nothing. Carlton made a great start. Wren wins in the middle. McDermott. McGuinness missed his kick. Alvin's kick straight onto the chest, and the mark and kick taken by Visca. Anderson, well played. Anderson long with the left foot. Jamison.
He read that well, Bernie, didn't he?
And there's the value of a long kick too, Peter, out of the centre of the ground there from Anderson. He doesn't mess around, Greg Anderson. When he gets the ball, he usually gets the ball to boot quicker than most players in the AFL. And this player, Jamison, was the leading goal kicker for the Crows in 1991 with 49 goals. He's an excellent kick, but this is a very tight angle.
Breeze will curl it from left to right. It'll help him. Banana kick, check side. That's their first score, but it's a behind.
It amazes me, Bernie, why players don't run out and kick on the left foot in that situation. Just open up the angle.
Yeah, well, you've got the option,
far more chance, haven't you?
Yeah, well, we saw actually, who was it, Jarman in that State of Origin game from the right, the other side of the ground, but he used the same sort of kick that you're talking about on his right boot.
Peter Dean to the half back line, thumped down by Wren. Here's Anderson, a quick kick. Players racing after him, and the mark has been taken by Matthew Hogg, who looks as though he's picking up Tony McGuinness.
He is, Pete.
Ex-teammates at Footscray. A good tagger, Matthew Hogg, too. Now, here's Bradley, who's been in magnificent form. Chips it across to Williams. Those two will call them a lot this afternoon, I would imagine. Greg Williams to the half-forward line. You can see that ball hold up in the breeze. Oh, there's a free kick. Bad free kick against Maynard. And the kick there to be taken by Brett Scholl. Scholl, centre wing. In towards Kernahan. Danger here. Oh, he had his name written all over that.
I don't like this matchup, Peter.
No,
I don't like this matchup at all.
Back.
I think especially if Kernahan gets his confidence up early, even Rouvray, who's a little bit taller than Ben Hart. Ben Hart 187 centimetres, Steve Kernahan 196, so there's a 9 centimetre height advantage there and a lot of years in experience.
Well, I know I'd be playing down there on him, and that'd be Nigel Smart. I know it's taking away your centre half forward, but I just think so highly of Smart as a footballer.
Yes, I agree, Peter.
And he runs off his opponent. There's Steve Kernahan. It's a wobbly banana kick. It's a goal. So a great start to the Navy Blues. 3-1. Adelaide, one behind.
Well, he's had some big jobs, hasn't he, Hart, in his time with the Adelaide Crows. He only started, of course, last year, was an All-Australian in his debut season. Still only 18 years of age, but up against probably one of the best forwards playing AFL football in Steve Kernahan. And I think they'd be looking at a change pretty quickly.
Madden got the hit out, but the Crows got the next touch. And here's McGuinness out of the centre square. And the mark taken by Dean at half-back. Dean playing on Robran. Goes towards the outer side of the ground. Gleeson. He's got Christo in support. Gleeson grabbed by Rashudo. Christo around the outer boundary line to half forward. Lee and Heaver. Heaver soccers away. Anderson. Here's Big Harry Madden pressuring Anderson. Wren, good hand pass, away to Lee. Little kick up the centre wing, a choice of 2, and the mark here is taken by Rasciuto. Another youngster like Hart, 18-year-old. Rasciuto's kick, still in the centre square. Palmed down by Scholl. Ratton. Bradley. Long kick by Craig Bradley. Kernahan again. Crunch, down goes the pack.
Courage by Lee.
Wasn't it?
Off the ground, Diulio. Trouble for Maynard. Ball, says the crowd. Umpire doesn't
He's
agree.
good.
Williams, and the umpire will ball it up.
Very lucky to get away with that, Williams, because he ducked his head when the initial tackler came in. And I think that could have been a free kick to the Crows there out of defence. His initial reaction was to duck the head, wasn't it?
I agree, and he went to ground.
He did.
Wren. Ben Hart across the ground. Simon Tregenza. Now, I've been critical of his kicking. Let's have a look what he does this time. That's a better looking kick. He's looking for Jarman. Oh, clever play, Andrew Jarman. Gee, that was good football. On to Robran. On to Maynard. They need a goal, the Crows. The lead is on. A holding decision could have gone to Jamison then. Players racing after it. Hand pass. Comes across from Sexton to Gleeson. Now it's Christo.
Played by Gleeson.
Oh, they're looking good, Carlton. Christo. Kernahan at the back. It's a loose ball. Who will have the speed? Big Sean Wren there. Well, he was grabbed. Williams gets it back. Kernahan kicks. Kernahan goals. Oh, Steve Kernahan's kick 2. Carlton on fire. This is very impressive stuff. 4-1-25. The Crows, one behind.
And playing with a lot of determination too, this Carlton side. Over the last couple of weeks, they've found something. I don't know how they left Diulio in the reserves for so long. Here's Greg Williams. Good play by Greg Williams, and the quick hand pass to Kernahan for that snap goal.
Well, that should have been a free kick to Wren, Bernie. He was dragged down on the side of the pack. That's dreadful umpiring.
25-1. Carlton in front. What a start by the Blues. Bickley. High ball. Dean, a mark? Yes.
I think he paid the free in the end, Drew, for a push in the back against Matthew Robran.
He gave the hand pass to Christo, who wasn't watching. And the umpire is going to make him do it all again, which is probably just as well. This is better to Christo. 25-1. 4 goals, 1-1 behind. And the hand pass that Greg Williams gave to Kernahan then, going away from goal, was just a class above the rest. Here he is again. Brown. Hogg. Dubious looking hand pass by Brown. Comes to the front. Oh, beautifully played, Lee. Straight up to full forward. And Jamison takes the mark.
It was good delivery, wasn't it, Drew? They're coming from Scott Lee. One of the veterans of the Adelaide Crows side. And we see him charging out of defence. He's played 1 game less than Rodney Maynard, who's played every game for the Crows since their inception.
You blokes have your wish, because Smart has gone back to play on Kernahan.
I knew that.
And we've been 13 minutes into the game.
I knew that wouldn't take long.
Jamison's kick. Looks good. Well, Jamison has the entire score for the Crows. 1 goal, 1, but the Blues are 4-1.
Yes, well, we know how he can play, Jamison. He was preferred at full forward in 1991 when he kicked 49 goals and was the Crows' leading goal kicker. We see Scott Lee here charging out of defence. He didn't waste the ball at all. He went direct into that forward line. There was plenty of open spaces for Jamison to lead into, and he's a very good finisher.
Well, they trail by 3 goals, the Crows. And good to see Smart back at fullback. Let's see if he can hold the Carlton champ, Kernahan. It's at half forward for the Blues. Spalding, oh, he tunnel balls it back. Fraser Brown races after it. Number 20 for Carlton. Oh, good tackle by Rouvray. Did he have the ball? Umpire said he did. So there's McGuinness. Hand pass to Anderson. Oh, he tried to get onto that left boot. Well played, Matthew Hogg. Fraser Brown in towards half forward. DeLilio front of the pack. Here's Alvin was grabbed. Umpire calls play on again. McDermott to Bickley.
Interesting tackle by Williams. He had hold of...
well, it's a free kick Carlton's way behind the play here.
Oh.
We'll go to Alvin. You think it should have been against Williams, Bernie?
I'm just having a look at that tackle by Williams. He had hold of McDermott's hair.
Here's Alvin. Into was Madden. Oh, he's too tall, big Justin. The long arms go up. And do the Carlton supporters love this, Bernie?
And he's not a bad shot for goal either, Justin Madden. Don't worry about that.
All 6'10" of him. And if you're caught behind, have a look. You've got no hope.
He's kicked 6 goals this year, and for a ruckman, that's not too bad. There's not too many ruckmen would have 6 goals against their name at this stage of the season.
Yes, it's a huge tally, Bernie. I must admit,
Well, they're
6.
always sneaking down in defence, aren't they? That's
6
where they get their
goals.
kicks. They're easy kicks.
I don't think you'll be telling your grandchildren about 6 goals at this stage of the year. Here's Madden anyway.
Well, he's kicked 7 now anyway, Pete.
So big Justin Madden, he'll be happy about that. Carlton lead by 4 goals.
Well, I'll tell you what, Scotty Wine hasn't kicked a goal for 3 years. So he'd be very happy with 7 goals.
That's because you're his goal-kicking coach.
Well, I'm not claiming him, don't worry. Well, it's good to see Big Harry and offering an option and going down to that forward line. And it just takes the pressure off Stephen Kernahan a little also, because Sean Wren, who goes back and helps out in defence, had to then worry about picking up Madden.
5-1 to 1-1. Under 12 minutes to quarter time. The Blues have dominated, and the Crows have the breeze in this first term. Half back to half forward, a desperate dive. Comes to Jarman. Dive was by Ratton. McGuinness goes long over the head of Jamison, but he was offline and through for a behind. McGuinness and Hogg, an interesting matchup. 2 former Footscray players.
Fairly strong breeze too. It would be 3 or 4 goals, I'd say. The way that ball is travelling. The kick in by Sexton. Oh, McKay uncontested. Graham Corns won't like that. Heaver, beautiful kick to Scholl. Scholl to Kernahan. Kernahan and Smart. Oh, Smart slipped over. And Kernahan marks Nigel Smart, went to lay the punch, and he slipped over and out of the contest.
Just had a disgusted look back at the ground there, Nigel Smart.
He almost spat on it because it was Melbourne soil.
There he is.
Yeah, there he is, tumbling down and leaving Kernahan by himself.
I wonder if he's got the rubber stops. Bernie?
Well, it looks pretty heavy in parts, this ground. It looks all right from up here, but I noticed him slipping around, especially the half-back for Carlton on the outer side of the ground.
Well, Steve Kernahan has kicked 2. Both of them on Ben Hart. Here's his 3rd. Oh, it's another wobbly, but it's through for a goal. So Carlton, very, very impressive into the breeze. Do they look good? 6-1 to 1-2.
That's a very impressive display by Carlton and starting to stamp themselves as something of a finals prospect. See here Heaver out of defence, a short pass. They are creating the loose man very well. Scholl, 1 short kick, 1 long kick directly into that forward line, and Kernahan down there with his opponent out of the contest, Smart. Scott Lee did get back there in desperation, but it was too late.
Well, you can see some strange markings on the ground. AC Milan, the Italian soccer team, played here midweek, and about where Smart slipped was about the goal mouth in Wednesday night soccer match. Bradley to half forward. The mark not claimed down there by Gleeson. Hacked out of defence. And that defensive kick came from Bickley. Now Carlton going forward again. Kernahan out number 2 to 1. Wren goes off the ground, and the ball hurries across the ground out at about half back for the Crows.
You'd have to say, Bernie, Carlton far more desperate at this stage.
Yes, they've displayed that over the last couple of weeks, but also a couple of the matchups early in the game, especially with Kernahan and Hart. And it certainly left a gap in the forward line now that Smart's been taken out of there, because he was brilliant there last week at centre half forward.
And didn't he look as though he loved that run on the forward line last week? He's kicked only 6 goals in his career, and he kicked 2 last week. Carlton won their only 2 successive games, or completed 2 in a row for the first time of the season last week. So today they're going for 3 in a row, which is uncharted territory. This is the team that hasn't made the finals for 4 years in a row. Brown and Heaver trying to combine. The Mosquito fleet of Adelaide combined. McGuinness, McDermott. The hand pass comes over the top. Rashudo to Anderson. Anderson's kicked to full forward. We haven't seen him yet, but here he is, Modra.
Well, he used his body well, Bernie, then, didn't he? I thought Silvani had him covered at first.
He did, and again another good kick from the centre line there from Greg Anderson. And Modra getting in front of Silvani and Silvani's not an easy player to play on.
And Stephen thought about putting the arm out and grabbing him. Then you could see but he elected not to. Tony Modra, they need this. They need it badly. The Crows, oh, it drifts to the right. Oh, it's a point. They need goals with this breeze. There's Michael Sexton to bring it back into play. 37 plays 9. Michael Sexton. Wobbly floating kick. Free kick. Advantage paid in the finish. There's a hand pass. Comes out to Matthew Hogg. That was from Ratton. Kernahan was there. Over the back, Spalding. Spalding trying to shuffle it out. He eventually does. It's cleverly done out towards Gleeson. Here's DeLilio. He's bumped over the line in front of the Carlton members, but Carlton desperate. They want this win.
He's made a big difference, Ron DiUlio, hasn't he, Peter? To that
bit of pace.
Carlton forward line. They've been saying for weeks how slow this Carlton side was. And this player, the ex-VFA Box Hill player, can really run.
Yep, kicked 4 goals last week against Geelong. DiUlio, ruck infringement, free kick to Wren. Interchange warming up. Bone and Rowe. Maynard takes the mark. 7.5 minutes to go to quarter time. The Crows need about 4 goals or 5 to get on target. Smart over centre wing. Oh, well played. Scholl, short pass. And these short passes are doing the job into the breeze. Gleeson to Kernahan. And Stephen Kernahan has been absolutely superb. 4 marks. Goes in short. Brown's there. Waits at the back, Brown. Wren. Rouvray, socket out of his hands. Good use of the body. Clears a path for Bradley. He lines up the goals and kicks a behind.
The crowd rose in anticipation. He's a great player, Bradley. Now, Scott Lee, a bit shell-shocked, Adelaide. Really, they've got to lift their work rate a bit. Carlton going in a lot harder. There's Bickley forcing it to the line. And I noticed when they get it on the back line a few times, Bernie, the Crows, there's no one making position up around half forward and centre wing area.
No, Carlton manning up very well too, Peter. You have to give Carlton credit for that.
Well, here's Wren and Kernahan. Wren taps it down. Gleeson handballed straight into Nigel Smart. That's Bickley. Oh, smothered off the boot of Lee. Williams went in hard. Now Scholl. It's Rashuto lying over it. Shuffled out again. And that was Adrian Gleeson out on that wing. There he is, a little rover. Throw in, half forward for the Blues, and they're doing it very, very well. 6-2 to 1-3.
Wren and Kernahan. So Kernahan's been a key forward and a ruckman on the forward line. Wren's hand pass blocked by Williams. He goes back, but it's intercepted. Rashuto over centre wing. Ratton and Jarman. Hurries through to Dean. He'll be happy to see the line. And Peter Dean gets congratulations from Christo as he goes back to his position.
They've got some good players on the back line. Sexton, Silvani, Dean. And when Hannah's there, he certainly tops them off. He's out today, of course. I thought they would miss him a lot. Here's another one, McKay. He's an excellent player. Now, here's Christo getting onto the left foot. The Silvani look-alike to centre wing. And a holding decision. It will go the way of Adelaide this time. And it's way out there. That's Rouvray, I feel. Paul Rouvray. Showing a lot of promise too. Plenty of height to half forward. Robin at the back, a good mark. I think they've got to try and develop Robin into a top-class centre-half forward, Bernie.
Yes, I'd agree there, Pete, but he's also a mobile ruckman, so it's good to have an interchangeable side.
Well, here's Robin. He hooks it across his body. A chance for Maynard. Can't mark it. Oh, they did that too easily, Carlton. McKay out of defence. Fraser Brown breaks a couple of tackles. Oh, is that a high tackle on Scholl? It is.
Is it a high tackle?
And the umpire bringing it back, not paying the advantage there, so free kick to go to Brett Scholl.
Yeah, Bernie, that nearly missed him. It was so high.
Well, Rashuto was in perfect position to lay a good tackle there, and there was just a lack of discipline there, that high tackle.
Brown's hand pass dropped short of DiUlio, and it's been chopped off by Tregenza. Now the hand pass by Visca, and the Crows away. McDermott back to Visca. Places the kick to centre half forward. It clears the pack with the breeze. Madden loose in defence. At the other end, Wren playing the same role. Christo, back he goes to Sexton. Breaks the tackle. Holds up in the breeze this kick. Spalding the only chance for Carlton. Comes off him. Williams, further afield, Gleeson. Good play into the wind by the Blues. Gleeson's pass short. Kernahan this time slips. Smart slipped last time. This time Kernahan. Wren to Smart. Hand pass in. Grabbed by Heaver. Heaver breaks a man. 45 metres out. Dropping short. Rouvray makes sure it goes through for a behind.
Well, let's look at this.
Jarman very late.
Matthew Hogg now.
I wondered what happened to Hogg. I saw him lying there on the boundary line, so that's pretty heavy stuff there from Jarman.
Rouvray to bring it back into play. There's 5 goals the margin into the breeze, Carlton. Amazing stuff. There's McKay trying to punch it away. Haven't seen a lot of McGuinness yet. That quick kick was by Greg Anderson to half forward, thumped away. That was by Robran. Robran going in again to lend a hand. That was good play on to Brown. A good hand pass to Jarman. Andrew Jarman hooks it back. Modra and Silvani. Modra breaks away, hooks it back, but can't get it back far enough as he puts it through for a behind.
Well, Modra last week kicked 7-5, unusual for him, and today he started with 2 behinds because in the season he's kicked 66-23, so he's been pretty straight until the last couple of weeks. Silvani. McDermott. Well played, McDermott. Silvani a finger to it. Hooks it back. Bradley played well. Alvin. Committed Carlton today.
Drew, it's obvious Carlton have 3 or 4 at the ball. I think you'd agree, Bernie, whereas the Crows are leaving it to 1.
It's a good sign, Peter, when there's 3 or 4 players, as you say, and they're all lining up to tackle. That's a terrific sign for a team.
Yep, they're playing with confidence. There's Bickley. He went without it. Madden gets it out quickly. As Fraser Brown lays the tackle, holding the ball.
Yeah,
that's paid.
Great tackle too by Fraser Brown. He tackled low.
Certainly was. Excellent tackle.
On Rouvray.
We have the tackles 10-3 in favour of Carlton.
The ball was dropped short at half forward. Here's Williams, who he's hooked round the neck. Now, towards half forward by Madden. Spalding. Out it comes to Heaver. The Crows desperately trying to do something. Delilio, a quick hand pass. Still danger for Adelaide. Adrian Gleeson on the left foot. Up in front of goal, the pack rises. Spalding is there. They should soccer it off the ground here. Kicked away towards the half-back line. Here's a chance for Adelaide as it's taken by Robran. On to Tregenza. Now I'm going to watch this kick with interest here, Simon Tregenza. Oh, he does that well. Keep going, he should. Has a bounce. High up in the air. Jarman's got 2 to beat. He's marked it. Oh, he had 2 to beat Andrew Jarman. He's been paid the mark. A very good mark. Because Carlton players feel they got a touch.
Yes, well, a touch and go, wasn't it, Peter? Let's have a look at that again. Silvani in front. He's a player I felt he had first grab, and I think he did, because last week we saw, who was it, lined up? Hurd, I think it was. James Hurd second in line, and we could see just on the replay where the player got his hand to the ball first.
Andrew Jarman, they need it. Oh, he's hooked it slightly. In fact, he's hooked it a lot. And he's missed.
Interesting defensive setup then for Carlton, because Silvani left Modra and was a loose man up the ground. Sexton had Modra. Modra, as a result of that, was taken right out of the play and wasn't in that marking contest. Jarman finished up taking the mark. Now, you might have backed Modra to kick the goal, but Jarman missed it. 39-11, Carlton up. And we have 47 seconds remaining. So it's Sexton now at full-back, and he kicks in. Punched on. Bickley. Incredible game last week against Footscray with 44 possessions, Mark Bickley. Time running out in this first quarter. Carlton with all the aces. They've kicked into the breeze and have kicked 6 goals to 1.
Halfway between centre wing and half forward for Adelaide. Time clock running down to almost 10 seconds to go to quarter time. Great quarter by Carlton. Good tackle by Madden. It'll be a bounce, so there won't be any more score in this quarter. A committed Carlton side. They've certainly struck form with a vengeance the last couple of weeks. There's the siren. The Carlton supporters applaud. The top quarter by the Blues, 6-3-39 to Adelaide, 1-5, a total of 11.
The name of the game is Australia.
That's an 8-goal lead to Carlton.
Well, they really need Bernie. Tony McGuinness, they have to have he and Mark Bickley firing or they've got no hope of winning.
Exactly. McGuinness only 2 kicks in that first quarter.
So umpire Peter Carey about to bounce it. A big deficit to Adelaide, and they're kicking into the breeze. Let's see if they can lift. There's Williams. Doesn't take him long to get a touch. Ben Hart with pace. Look at the pace of the youngster. And he stabs it in towards full forward. The mark is dropped up there by Jamieson. Jamieson back to Hart. Hart, plenty of poise as he brings it back in front of goal. Robrin! Oh, good mark. Had his name written all over that, Bernie.
Yeah, great mark, Robrin. A player with enormous future in front of him, I would say, Peter, Matthew Robrin. And of course, the breeding stock wasn't too bad, was it? His father wasn't a bad player, Barry.
Father was, well, Bob Davis always said he's the best player he'd ever seen outside of Victoria. As we see Matthew Robrin, they need this badly, the Crows. Oh, he's drifted it slightly. Did he sneak it in? He did, a goal. And a good start to Adelaide to start the second term, 6-3 to 2-5.
I think at quarter time, Graham Corns would have probably said, well, you've seen goals can be kicked to that end of the ground, so it wouldn't be desperation quarters just yet, as we see this hand pass just slipping away from Christou there, and a mark should have been taken, I would have thought, by Jarman out in front of his face.
Jamieson.
Jamieson. But a good backing up there by the young player in Ben Hart, and an excellent grab by Matthew Robrin.
Vital first goal in the second quarter to the Crows into the breeze. There's a bit of protection from the Heatley stand there. Actually, Williams' hand pass went to McGuinness. McGuinness has kicked to Jarman. And we might throw the weather wall out the gate,
well,
because all the players been into it.
Well, often sides do play better into the breeze, don't they, Bernie?
Yes, especially a running side such as Adelaide.
Kick by Jarman, looks good, right through the middle. Great start to this term by the Crows.
Yes, Jarman's kicked 1-1. He missed one in that opening quarter. And here's McGuinness, and he is a damaging player. He's been averaging 20 kicks a game. To be right up there with the leading, well, he is the leading kick getter in the AFL. He's had the most kicks, 202 kicks for the season, an average of 20. And third in the overall disposals. And I'll tell you what, once he gets the ball, he's so damaging. It's good to see him kicking the ball and not wasting it with handball.
Well, that last goal by Andrew Jarman demonstrated the value of Tony McGuinness getting that ball out of the centre. But this time Carlton go forward. It's a high tackle, actually. So it'll go to Gleeson. He was certainly caught around the shoulders. And Chris McDermott, very resigned to that free kick, as you can see now. Adrian Gleeson, centre of the ground. The last thing Adelaide would want would be a goal here. Smart goes early. He's got backup support from Wren. Good effort by the big man to get out and help up. There's Maynard to half-back. Mark Bickley. Now McGuinness. A couple of touches already. That's good for Adelaide. And a beautiful kick finds Chris McDermott.
McDermott being tracked by Gleeson. Kick by McDermott to half forward. Robrin again dangerous. Slides off the little crow throw maybe to Jarman. Oh, pace. But Modra couldn't take the mark low to the ground. Silvani's hand pass to DiUlio at centre half-back. He goes for a run and a bounce, backs himself and wins. Ron DiUlio to Kernahan. Smart the spoil. Still with Nigel Smart. Hand pass to just about through their legs. Rasciuto. Oh, well played by Hart. He turned Christou inside out. And this man's got a bit of height and speed. Wasn't suited where he was, but going well now. To the goal square. Robrin!
Yes, it's a mark. A good mark there from Matthew Robrin again.
And Bernie, Smart spoiled Kernahan down one end of the ground, and Robin's taking marks up the other, and that's what...
He might be just a little bit too tall for Peter Dean, you think, Peter?
Well, he's about 6'4", Matthew Robrin.
191 centimetres, Robrin. And Peter Dean, 185, so 6 centimetres, and he is very mobile, isn't he?
Well, hasn't that turned the game round, Drew?
And Ben Hart, who was being flogged by Kernahan, is running around like, well, a half-forward flanker, about 6'4". at the moment. Here's Robrin. Another one. Adelaide, 3 into the breeze.
And right back in this now, Adelaide. Only 10 points the difference. And who would have thought this at quarter time? I think the Carlton people were rubbing their hands together in glee. 28-point advantage. And all of a sudden, well, with the supposed breeze, we've only seen one goal kicked to that end of the ground, Peter, to the scoreboard end.
Well, they're certainly kicking it further that way, aren't they, by a long way. Now, there's a worried-looking David Parkin, Colin Kinnear, Adrian Gallagher looking on. So we go back to the centre, Wren. Centre bounce very well. Oh, here they come again. Tregenza, quick kick to Jarman. Jarman will do something clever. He does. Ben Hart, he can give off a hand pass. Or Anderson, look at him wanting to get onto the left foot, but a free kick to Hart. 45 metres from goal. You see Anderson,
he can only go one way, Peter.
He should have been going to the right, and he ducked back onto the left.
No doubt.
Hart's the man. He is killing them.
Hart, since he's gone to that half-forward line, here we see, you're right, Peter, he tries to duck back, doesn't he? Get back on that left foot.
The automatic thing was to keep going around onto the right, but here's Hart too. If they kick another one here, look at the kick by Ben Hart. A beautiful kick. It's a goal to Adelaide. Well, Adelaide on fire, and this man is helping spark them, Ben Hart, with his great pace.
Well, we've only gone 5 minutes in this second quarter. Adelaide has kicked 4 goals straight. Carlton has yet to add to the quarter-time tally of 6 goals 3. And 5-5 to Adelaide, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point ball game. So magnificent play. They're starting to win the ball out of the middle. Sean Wren doing a good job in the ruck against Madden.
Madden charges at Wren. Wren palms it down to Bickley, and the Crows forward again. Shoal marks running in the same direction as the ball. Carlton haven't been this far forward in the quarter. Kernahan outnumbered about 3-1. Heaver goes off the ground. All Carlton here, they're a big chance. Centering kick to the edge of the square. Did that go 10? Umpire said yes. Mark to Wren. Now to Lee. Incredibly, just 4 points the margin. Scott Lee gets the hand pass away. Rouvray. Seagull, more seagulls than footballers here. Brown on the ground. Anderson, high ball. Hart taken out of it by Christo, and another free kick to Hart.
He does give away a lot of free kicks, Angelo, Christo.
And good courage there by Rouvray, going back with the flight of the ball. He hurt himself there. The 2 players descending on him. And there's the free kick against Christo on Hart.
8 possessions, this youngster.
Well, I'll have to do something about Hart. Here's Robrin. Now Williams. That was cleverly done, Greg Williams. A quick kick towards Heaver. A bad bounce. Wren read that well. On the lead. Oh, Lee better kick it quickly. He does. Out there is Maynard. Maynard, can he get there? Sexton there. Andrew Jarman tries to dive on it. Knocked on by Sexton. Spalding looking for the hand pass. Now he chips it wide. Fraser Brown can't mark, but he recovers, brings it back in front of goal. Wren, very, very mobile. Back up support, and that was by Visca. There's Nigel Smart, cool, calm and collected. Across the face of goal. Coming away with it is Paul Rouvray. Oh, look, loose men everywhere for the Crows. Jamison can give it across. Who's this? It's Maynard running with the flight of the ball. He can kick it now. The leader's on. Modra and Silvani. Was that a free kick?
Yes.
It is. Free kick against Silvani. Free kick to Modra in the back.
Well, you'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Peter? That looked pretty obvious.
I think the hands are in the back, Bernie. Steve Silvani not happy because Modra propped.
Well, he had to prop because the ball was going too high, wasn't it? It probably would have landed on Silvani's chest had he left Modra alone, as Brown's been taken from the ground and replaced by Rowe.
Well, here's Tony Modra. He's yet to score a goal, and there it is.
Definitely pushed out of it.
No doubt about it. As you can see on replay. You wouldn't believe this if he kicks this there in front. It's swinging back. A beautiful kick, Tony Modra. Crows in front.
That is amazing.
Quite amazing, isn't it? 10 minutes gone in the term, and Adelaide has been averaging a goal every 2 minutes. Let's see that free kick again against Silvani. Modra just caught under the ball. It was drifting a little bit. I think had Silvani been standing up straight, he would have taken an easy chest mark.
Well, the Crows were down by 28 points at quarter time. They've kicked 5 straight to nothing to hit the front. after just 10 minutes into the breeze in the second quarter. And I can assure you the breeze is going right to left on your screen, even though the scoring in this game doesn't indicate that. It was 6 goals to 1 into the breeze in the first quarter and 5 goals to nothing into it in this quarter.
Well, Graham Corns wasn't happy with their work rate at quarter time, and they've lifted that.
Huge pack. Madden playing his 250th. Gleeson goes to ground. Williams off the ground. Well inside the 50. Kernahan leads Smart to it. Crashes through. Diulio just gets a boot to it. Gets it out to Heaver. He kicks a goal. Brent Heaver. A clever little toe poke, and Lantini for AC Milan would have been proud of that one.
We used to say Maradona once, didn't we?
His old hat.
Yes, Kernahan charging at it. Terrific stuff from Kernahan. Also, as Drew called, Diulio, just that little kick out, and Heaver doing the rest. Did Carlton need that goal? A real steadier for the Blues.
Well, we're in for a good game. Four points a margin. There's still just under 18 minutes of play left in this term. That hand pass was from Visca, McDermott, Bickley. They want these big name players firing. Silvani. Oh, here's a chance. Jamison. Still Jamison. Jarman. Cleverly done. Robin on the left foot in towards goal. Oh, Silvani went without it. Socket off the ground. Christo back into the fray. Ratner's there. And McKay. They race in after it. Adelaide far more desperate now after their lacklustre first term. Bounce in front of goal for Adelaide.
Well, it's done wonders for the game what the Crows have done here, because the way Carlton started, it was looking like a pretty one-sided contest. But should be terrific from now on. Rowe just on the ground. Brown had just one touch in about 40 minutes. Okay. Up early, Rasciuto, no mark. Crowd wants a free kick. McDermott goes to the boundary line. Greg Williams holding his head. The ball out of play.
Well, it was in the marking contest. I don't think there was a free kick there. Both Crows players with eyes on the ball, as we see.
Oh, the
knee there. And, well, that's fair.
Here's Rasciuto again. Wide of the mark with his kick. Actually, Jamison proving an excellent second foil down there. So Carlton free. And it's coming to Scholl.
Yeah, bad play by Anderson. Straight into his back, Bernie.
Yep.
Sexton. A loose man. Oh, slips catch. No mark. That was Fraser Brown. Jarman running with him. Good play, Jarman. He didn't grab him, but Brown had the pace. Bradley. Oh, good effort.
He's been a bit quiet this quarter too, Peter. Bradley.
Fraser Brown into Kernahan. 3 Crows players after Kernahan. Look at Smart taking that front position. And he's not lying on it, so it's no free kick. Maynard. On to Jarman, on to McDermott, back to Tony McGuinness, dodging, weaving, magnificent hand pass out wide, finds Paul Rouvray. Rouvray the long bomb. Christo back with the flight of the ball. Angelo Christo to take a good mark at half back.
Yes, Christo has been moved too off Ben Hart, and McKay now with that job.
Kick by Christo. Harry Madden's about 25 metres in the clear. And had time to do that and roll a cigarette at the same time. Up to half forward, off hands. Alvin went through without it. Here's Smart. He's more used to this back half, but he might yet kick a goal. He kicked a couple last week. Nigel Smart, long and high. Madden camped underneath it, and this time one touch. Alvin a bit of a limp.
Ratton wide. Greg Williams. The Carlton champ to Matthew Hogg, the former Footscray back pocket player. Oh, could have been a free kick down the ground. It is a free kick down. That's silly play. Who was that out there?
I think it might be Tregenza, wasn't it?
Tregenza, stupid play. Well after he got rid of the ball.
You think the crowd helped with their roar?
No, it was definitely there. Kernahan to Bradley, danger here. He'll go close to this.
He'll still take a very good kick from this dead pocket.
He kicks
Peter.
He kicks the miraculous ones at times, Bernie.
55, 60-metre kick required here.
Craig Bradley. He's chipping it in short. Kernahan. Good mark. He nipped away in front of Nigel Smart. And the Carlton captain will kick for goal number 4. Good play, Bradley.
Yes, it was. He's probably only gained about 10 metres here, Pete. I would think Kernahan kicking from just on or inside the 50-metre line. So this still will take a very good kick here from the Carlton captain to register a goal.
Stephen Kernahan. Carlton under enormous pressure in this term. Adelaide have really lifted back in the contest. Kernahan for goal number 4, floats it to the right. I don't think he scored at all. He hasn't. He's put it out of bounds. That's reminiscent of his famous kick at the MCG. I hate to bring it up again.
That's exactly what went through my mind.
The same sort of kick.
As soon as he kicked that.
Stephen Oliver, number 3 for Carlton. The number worn by dual premiership captain Mike Fitzpatrick. And Oliver preparing to come on. A late inclusion in the side when Hannah pulled out. Here's Williams. Centering kick. Spalding.
So I think Spalding might have been the player that they could have been thinking about taking from the ground. And the player going back there for the Crows, Mark Fisker, not really making a great effort at cutting that one off.
Well, that was Spalding's first mark. He's had only 3 possessions to date. And this might save him. 40 metres out. Looks all right. Well, he hasn't had many kicks, Earl Spalding.
And in fact, Drew, he is coming off the ground, Earl Spalding, and Stephen Oliver, the boy from Castlemaine, is about to replace him. And even though Spalding's stats haven't been great, he's been pretty handy with those 2 goals. There's Oliver coming on. He had a shoulder reconstruction early in the season.
10 points the margin. Stephen Oliver on the ground. Earl Spalding off the ground. Now there's Chris McDermott on to McGuinness. They're the 2 players have to fire the Crows. In towards half forward. Sexton spoiled down there by Robrin. Taken by Ratton. Ratton hooks it back towards Fraser Brown. Brown waits for it. After him's Tony McGuinness, and the ball beats them both over the line, way out there on centre wing.
I think Sexton now has a job on Robrin. As we said, Dean was having troubles in that area with Matthew Robrin's height. And so Sexton's been moved back onto him.
Well, here they go again through Rouvray, the Crows. In towards half forward. Oh, here's Ben Hart. He did that very well. He got it out to Jarman. Danger here for Carlton. The leader's on. Modra. Chip in across him though. Hart has ridden into the ground. He lost it in the tackle. Probably good umpiring to let that one go. Here's Rowe. Cleverly done by Rowe. Great effort by Rowe on the right foot. Magnificent goal. Have a look at that. Terrific play. Play by Stephen Rowe. Determination plus.
Wasn't it sensational, Peter? The way he kept at it and at it. Stephen Rowe, who started on the interchange and replaced David Brown. We'll see this in replay. Was that a free kick to Ben Hart? Was he carried forward in the back maybe? A line ball decision anyway. And here's Rowe. Just kept fighting on, kept the ball in front of him. And a magnificent goal.
Carlton by just 4 points. What a second quarter we're being treated to here. Carlton going forward again. Gleeson ran straight past it. Rouvray's back there. Williams. Rouvray. Williams will take a free.
Maynard now picking up Kernahan with Smart on Oliver. Oliver at full forward.
14 possessions to Williams. Kernahan. No mark. Off hands. Oliver. Oh, he's hit the post. Well, this is a boy who's kicked over 150 in country competitions. Carlton have been trying for years to get him down. And this year he's played just 1 reserves game, and today's his 2nd seniors game. And he should have kicked a goal.
Yes, he panicked a little bit. Could have run right in, but still.
Last week he had 2 shots at goal and hit the post on both occasions last week.
Oh,
you wouldn't believe
it. He'd be good to do it. He's done it 3 in a row.
You're a wealth of information, Bernie. No doubt about it. As we see it thumped away. Back to Bradley. Oh, Bradley, well done. Hooks it back in front of goal. Nigel Smart at the back. The big fist went up. Good play. Anderson caught. Had no chance to get rid of it. Nigel Smart, a terrific player. On to McDermott. McDermott wide. The race is on. I think Tregenza would win that. No, he's caught by Elvin. Gets in a hand pass though. There's Sexton. Oh, hip and shoulder. Bickley was good stuff.
Good bump.
McGuinness, a free kick to McGuinness and could be 50.
Well, what's Greg Williams doing? Yes.
It could be 50.
Peter. Silly play by Greg Williams. Back you come. And this will, I think, put McGuinness almost in goal kicking
Well, the free
range.
kick had been paid. The whistle had gone. Tony McGuinness now will have a shot for goal. Good umpiring because it was definitely there.
Well, the man on the mark will be standing at around about the 40-metre mark, and McGuinness a thumping kick on that left boot. And definitely with a chance to kick this goal here for the Crows.
It's probably a better kick on the run, McGuinness, but he is a magnificent kick, isn't he?
He is.
Well, if he kicks this, let's have a look. They will be in front by a point if he kicks this goal, Tony McGuinness. Good game of football, this. Tony McGuinness. He's hooked it. Madden. And big Justin Madden has marked. And you can see that hold up in the breeze, that kick. So we're not telling lies when we say the side kicking to right of screens into the breeze.
I must admit, I was starting to look at you and wonder. I'm looking at the flags and thinking, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Most of the scoring to the right-hand end, definitely into the breeze. Off hands to Rowe. Kicked a great goal after coming off the bench. Through Wren it goes. And this kick by Rasciuto is way off target and out of bounds on the full. Mark Rasciuto, the youngster.
Well, he went for a torpedo punt. He should have been going to drop punt.
Christo marks Dean's kick into play. Dean gets it back. High ball towards centre wing.
Oh,
Anderson.
again high.
Now Williams has got him
again.
as well.
He's hurt himself there, Greg Williams. He might have a corking.
Well, Anderson bounced straight up and gave it to Bickley. Crows go forward again into the breeze. Madden's back there once more. Well played by Madden, celebrating 250 today.
6 marks to Justin Madden.
Well, not very often Justin Madden's taken 6 marks in the first half of the game. Good effort by the big fella. Fraser Brown gets it out there to Alvin.
Williams is no good.
I think it might be that right knee, Peter.
It was either the knee or a cork thigh, one of the two, as we see Matthew Hogg in towards half forward, pushing, shoving. Oliver, free kick. And Nigel Smart, he is a top-class defender. He uses his body magnificently, Bernie.
Certainly does.
Williams has broken away from the trainers and has taken his place again. Rasciuto to McGuinness. Kick by McGuinness. It's a very high ball into this breeze. Not good for the forwards. Alvin a bit of a touch. McKay number 5. And the ball goes out of play.
McKay pretty quiet today too, Drew. He was magnificent last week.
In the second quarter, 31-8 Adelaide handballs. That is amazing. No wonder they've got back into the game.
Oh,
He jumped into Madden's arms there.
Free kick to Madden.
And that could be, oh, be careful.
Jumped in again.
Stephen Rowe it was.
it's almost a mark. No, not paid. Scott Lee thought it was a mark.
So Carlton had the handballs when they ran into the breeze in the first quarter and built up a 28-point lead. Adelaide have done it in the second quarter and at one stage hit the front.
So it's at half back. Wren is there, sock it away. This is Visca over to Rouvray. Paul Rouvray, beautiful kick into the breeze. Hart versus McKay. Hart tried to knock it on. That was good play. Tregenza waited back a little bit then. Now he kicks it off the ground. Then was leg. No, he wasn't. Taken by McKay. Chips it back. Oh, well done by Anderson to get back, put his body on the line and thump it over the line.
There's good defensive work there by Greg Anderson.
I'll tell you what, there are a lot more Adelaide supporters here than there'd be Carlton supporters if this game was at Football Park. There's plenty.
A few
And there's a
Adelaide
few sitting-
scarves around, aren't
a few
there?
sitting right here in the John Elliott stand. Don't know how they got a ticket. Adelaide free kick. Wren takes it. Out to Bickley. Once again, Bickley going well. Don't know whether I count the first one as a kick. Oh, one.
Great stuff.
Two smothers in a row by Scholl. Wren. Out he goes to Lee. Lee's kick inside the 50. Modra. Haven't seen much of him yet. Silvani.
Could be a free kick.
Christo.
Free
Yes.
kick to Silvani, Drew.
Free kick to Stephen Silvani.
What about that smothering by Scholl? Some players don't have two smothers in a whole season. He's had two in about 15 seconds.
Modra, just one mark and 3 kicks.
Greg Williams. Centre wing. Oh, Jarman. He was clever, Jarman. He didn't go at him. That was a good effort. There's Fraser Brown diving on top of the ball. And the umpire's going to bounce. But they were great smothers. I thought Mark Bickley was just a little bit slow getting his boot to it, though. It's helped Scholl. But full credit to Scholl.
The coach would be showing that tape a few times over during the week.
Magnificent. 2 in a row. Wren and Madden. Here's McGuinness. Gets his boot to it. Very cleverly done, Tony McGuinness. Now here's Fraser Brown. Jarman after him. Jarman worrying him. Still worrying him, Jarman. Good play, Andrew Jarman. And the umpire will bounce. It was good effort. He's clever, Jarman.
Yes, he did well to tie him up, didn't he, Peter? But McGuinness coming into the match in this second quarter, he had 2 kicks up to quarter time. His stats are now 8 kicks and 7 handballs, and he's very important to this Adelaide side.
Well, it's still nearly 5.5 minutes to go. 13 possessions for the quarter. McGuinness. Gleeson. Kernahan just inside the line. Kick and a half to goal from there. Out in front of Bradley. That didn't really give him a chance. Alvin finds Bradley. Bradley dodges. Oh, terrific. Short pass is good to Heaver. Right in front.
Sensational play, that.
There's Craig Bradley, of course, the Fos William medalist in that State of Origin game against Victoria. He's had 2 marks, 10 kicks and 4 hand passes. And look at the way he gets around Sean Wren here. A nice little tap on there by Tommy Alvin. Away he goes. Just pretends to hand pass. And look at that clever little pass to Hoover.
5-point lead to Carlton. And now 11 points. Heaver gets his second goal for the quarter, and the Blues steady and lead by 11.
There's only 4 goals going to that end of the ground. The end favoured by the Breeze as Heaver comes off the ground to be replaced by Spalding. So Spalding kicked the last goal. He was taken off for Carlton. Heaver kicks his goal and he's been taken off for Carlton.
Don't kick a goal. Well, 9-4-58 to 7-5-47. They've steadied Brent Heaver off the ground after kicking that goal. Great play by Bradley.
Heaver's kicked 2, goes to the bench. Spalding kicked 2, and he was benched.
Be wary for Carlton if you kick 2 goals. As we see Big Madden with the left hand. There he is again, Big Justin. He's playing a good game. A quick kick. Kernahan and Smart. Smart puts the pressure on. Scott Lee over to Smart. He'll run away from Kernahan. Brings good pressure by Steve Kernahan though. Up towards Rowe it goes. Rowe, Anderson always trying to get onto that left foot. Here's Rowe again. Now it's Rasciuto trying to break the tackle. He does so. Brings it in towards half forward. And Mackay, he was too strong.
He's tightened right up on Ben Hart.
He's a good player, Andrew Mackay, a former South Australian himself. On to Sexton. Sexton dodging and weaving. Did it well. Kicks it long. Kernahan and Smart. Wren coming in to lend a hand. Over the back is big Sean Wren. Oh, he's fumbled it. Spalding. No, it's Wren. Back again, Smart. McGuinness a fumble. This lets in Hogg. He's tackled. Oh, he's
a holding decision.
Kick holding against Tony McGuinness. Free kick to Matthew Hogg on the boundary line. Number 33 for Carlton hasn't scored a goal. He should run out to the right here and open it up. Williams, and that's gee, there wasn't a lot in it.
Not a lot, was there?
Oh, geez, a bit lucky that one. Matthew Hogg from the boundary line has hooked it, starting to drift back. Not enough. 1 behind only.
Well, Heaver preparing to come back on. 59 plays 47. A 2-goal lead to Carlton, who led by 28 points at quarter time. Lee gained some ground for himself. Dodgy hand pass.
Oh, another one.
To Rasciuto. And Rasciuto has given it away. Lee, Anderson. Somehow he gets clear. Well, they're lucky to get out of that. Rouvray to half forward, and Peter Dean takes the mark. 2:35s there. Dean and Jamison. Williams. Brown. Short to Sexton. A few of these players have had many positional changes.
Michael Sexton on centre wing. Bombs it in long to half. Kernahan again's got 3 to beat. You can't beat 3. And Wren's doing a good job getting down there to help out Nigel Smart. Look, he's got no one to kick it to.
Smart would appreciate that. Ooh.
Socket off the ground by Visca, that was. Oh, look at this. Carlton a chance. Oh, Scholl.
Oh, what a chance.
If that had come off, Bernie, they're off and running.
Especially with that player there, Ron Diulio. If he had been able to get that ball, there was no one within 50 metres of him.
Oliver off and Heaver back on.
Wren with the left hand. Strong tackle. Maynard goes to ground. He's lying on it. And the umpire will bounce. Peter Keary. 1.5 minutes to go till half time. At least this game has developed into a real contest. 2 goals. Favour of the Blues when it looked like being an absolute whitewash early. Madden. Williams dives on top of it. Now McDermott. Bickley. On it comes to Maynard. Maynard hooks it back to half forward. The Carlton defence is tightened right up. Dean slips over. He's got backup support though by Ratton. Brett Ratton gives it the cross. Taken away by Sexton. Greg Williams from the back. Can't mark it. Mopping up is Bickley. Bickley chips it wide. He's looking for Big Wren. He's got him. He can go over the top. An ordinary hand pass that was by Wren. Good play though by Lee. On to Rouvray. Rouvray, they're in trouble up forward at the moment. They need Modra firing. Up they go. Over the back. Jamison bumped off it by Silvani. And it is a throw-in forward pocket for the Crows.
Yeah, well, Modra's kicked 1 goal too and has hardly seen any action. He's just had the 3 kicks and 1 mark. 12-point lead to Carlton. 27 seconds left in the half. Gleeson swings with the breeze up over centre wing. Wren gallops back after it. Brown closes him down. High ball. Anderson gets one in the back. And Greg Anderson will take the free, but not enough time for either team to score before the siren. But at least Adelaide got right back into it in this second term. Most of the scoring in this game has been done into the breeze. And in that term, it was 6 goals to the Crows against 3 to Carlton, even though the Crows were going into the breeze. Down by 28 at halftime. They're now just down by 12 points. 28 at quarter time, now 12 at halftime. Carlton 9-5, 59. Adelaide 7 goals, 5, 47. And what a game we have on our hands at Princes Park.
The name of the game is Australia.
Start of the second half here at Princes Park. Topsy-turvy game. Carlton dominated the first, Adelaide the second. The upshot of it is Carlton lead by 12 points at half-time. Neither ruckman, so Williams gets it out of the middle. They're working into the breeze again. A good hand pass on the fingertips of DiUlio and a goal within 10 seconds of the start.
So Ron DiUlio, the boy from the VFA, ex-Box Hill player, kicking his second goal. He's kicked 2 goals straight for the afternoon. And, well, I think he's a must in this Carlton side, Ron DiUlio, as we have a look at this in replay. He's got plenty of pace. He can kick a goal. It's just something this Carlton side needs desperately.
So back to the centre. Bad start to Adelaide for the turn. There's McGuinness shuffling it back towards Bickley. He went without it. Here's Ronnie DiUlio again on the left foot. Kernahan and Smart. It clears the pack. Smart will probably have the pace. Off he goes, Nigel Smart. Heads for the boundary line. Good play.
That ball, Peter, carrying a fair distance from Ron DiUlio with that left boot of his. In fact, we've seen 4 out of the 17 goals only kick to the left of screen, which is supposedly the scoring end.
Amazing. I think it all to do with desperation, actually. And I thought Carlton, the Adelaide Crows players, let Greg Williams get out of the centre for that first goal then far too easily. You've got to really tear in, as Max Stevens said.
No, Pete, the Weather Bureau's got it wrong again. The flags aren't blowing right to left at all.
Not much. Now, there's McDermott. Oh, Bickley, a fumble. That could be costly. Fraser Brown, a quick kick to the half-forward line. Hooking it around the corner is Maynard. He kept it in. That was a good effort, but he's kicked it straight back to Bradley. The danger player, Craig Bradley. Way out at half-forward. He's a booming kick normally. Keeps it low into the breeze. Was a good effort, but there are the big hands of Sean Wren. He's doing a good job getting back there in front of Kernahan.
Yes, a top player in the making, Sean Wren. His kick over half-back. Bradley charges at it and marks low down. It's been interesting. Bradley and McDermott, teammates 2 weeks ago for South Australia in their victorious foray into Melbourne against the Big V. Kicked by Bradley. Madden's there with Wren. Wren did well to get it away from the 250 game veteran. Rasciuto. Here's Bradley again, coming at purple patch. On his own is Spalding. He should have taken the mark. But it's a free kick to Madden.
Well, Maynard can't believe it. I had my eyes on Spalding there. I thought he was a certainty to take that mark. Here we see Spalding coming into the picture there. Well, I don't know what that free kick was for. I just don't know what it was for. I cannot work that one out.
Maynard couldn't believe it.
Here it is from a different angle. Maynard was going for the mark.
Maynard didn't take his eyes off the ball. That is a ridiculous decision.
Well, Madden goes for the goal, and he's kicked it. Well, if they have a banquet for Harry Madden to celebrate his 250th, he will never get a bigger present than that one.
Well, Rodney Maynard, you should feel badly done by. No wonder he shook his head and looked at the umpire. What can you do? You can only go for the mark. You can only go for the mark there, can't you?
Look at him. Eyes on the ball.
Yep, exactly.
Didn't take his eyes off. There was nothing. Madden slipped over. He gets a free kick. Well, 4 goals the margin after a controversial free kick. Certainly was not there when we looked at the replay. Hand pass. Comes out towards Gleeson. On to Delilio. And Nigel Smart doing an excellent job down there on Steve Kernahan. He read it well to clutch that to his chest.
Wobbled off the boot, that kick, didn't it, from Ron DiUlio, the man in front.
Off he goes, Nigel Smart, kicks it wide, a beautiful kick to the half-back line. He's found Rodney Jamieson. Jamieson, he's got a running player in Anderson. Anderson should knock it on. He went to grab it, he should have knocked it on to Jarman. There's Scholl, tackled by Jarman. Ratton, on to Gleeson. Gleeson looking for Fraser Brown, and it is forced over the line on centre wing.
Madden from behind. He should win this over McDermott. That was no contest. And the ball out of play. Justin Madden playing his 250th today, which takes him 1 ahead of another great legendary Carlton ruckman, Perce Jones, who finished his career on 249. Anderson over the ball. There's Madden. Harry Madden joined Carlton in 1983. He could hardly get a game in the ruck for Essendon with his brother Simon there. Played 45 with Essendon and now playing his 250th all up. 2 Carlton best and fairest.
Madden taps it down with the left hand. It's an underrated player, Madden. There's McDermott, was caught, and he ends up with a free kick. Gives it on to Rasciuto. Here's Maynard. Maynard bombs it in long. Sexton back with a flight of the ball. Kept his eyes on it. That was a terrific mark. Terrific mark. Michael Sexton out wide. Greg Williams.
In fact, Robin's been very quiet since Sexton's been moved on to him.
He's a good player, Sexton. A poor kick. Oh, Tregenza waited for it. Not good play, Simon Tregenza. Jarman slips over. There are a lot of players slipping over. Spalding. Now Williams. Gets in a hand pass. Bickley runs straight at the ball. He wanted it. Christo. Little chip pass. Finds Gleeson at half-back. This is Adrian Gleeson. Oh, centre of the ground. There's Carlton players everywhere. Greg Williams. Oh, well done, Williams. Great hand pass. Bradley. Now Ratton. And look at this. Out to the pocket. Justin Madden. Oh, he's dropped it. He's got back up support. Heaver at open goal. Bang. It's a goal.
Well,
Heaver has kicked free, Bernie.
The free kick would have been paid to Big Justin there against Scott Lee for holding, but the advantage was paid, and Heaver took the opportunity to whip in there and kick his 3rd. And now it's 4 out of 19 kick to the left of screen. So it's quite amazing. This game, the wind having no real effect, as you can see from the scoreboard, because kicking a lot of goals to right of screen.
Well, Adelaide kicked 5 in 10 minutes into the breeze to start the 2nd term. Carlton had kicked 3 in 6 minutes to start the 3rd term into the breeze. The hand pass comes back from Bone, and it goes away to Rowe, and his kick is out of bounds on the full. Their first shot on goal with the breeze in this term brings up no score. Bone and Rowe combining there. They both started the game on the interchange bench. Kick in. McDermott should have taken the mark, but will take the free. No, it's not his, it's Wren's.
Yeah, Sean Wren, he's playing a great game. He's
He's had 12 handballs, in fact, Sean Wren. 3 marks. Coming in for kick number 5. And there's a free kick against Madden.
A bit stiff even though. That was hip and shoulder, but wasn't within 5 metres. That's the question.
I think the free was there, Pete.
It was only hip and shoulder, Bernie. As we see Wren from 50 metres. There's the kick. Oh, this will clear the pack for a goal. A great kick by Sean Wren. So they needed that one, Adelaide. They needed it badly. The big fella trying to lift them. They still trail by 4 goals, though, Adelaide.
It was a good kick off the boot from Sean Wren, kicking his first goal for the season. I was just talking about that earlier, Pete. The ruckman, they're not kicking a lot of goals, are they, in league football these days? Madden, I suppose, has been used down on the forward line on many occasions, and now Sean Wren. Of course, he hasn't played a lot of football this year.
4 goals the difference in favour of Carlton. Bickley, the hand pass to Tregenza. Inside half forward.
Oh.
And Modra has hardly been seen.
He should have grabbed it.
McKay taken over the line by Modra, and the umpire calls for the throw-in.
I thought Modra could have picked it up with the hands. He tried to kick it off the ground somehow.
Well, he's the man who leads the league goal kickers. 66 goals coming into this game, just 1 today.
Ratton doing the ruck work. Oh, tap straight to the line by Scholl. It'll be a throw-in. It's been a seesawing game. First quarter all Carltons with desperation. Then Adelaide fought back. Start of this term, Carlton have looked the better side again. Robrin, a mad free kick. Robrin, I'd think, here. Not a lot in it, Bernie, but...
No, man in front, I suppose. If you position yourself and get the front position, you've got every chance of being awarded the free kick if there is one to be paid.
Well, it'll make up for the one at the other end to Justin Madden. If Robrin kicks this one, he'll kick it from about 53 metres. It's floating. Will it clear the pack? Oh, it's just the wrong side, I think. Yes, 1 point only. Adelaide need a couple of quick goals to get up there with the Blues at 3/4 time. 12-5 to 8-6.
Anyway, a couple of kicks for goal have travelled pretty well down to that left-hand end in this quarter, so we can confirm the breeze is right to left, although we've started to wonder. Christo, good distance into the breeze to centre wing, a top mark taken by Williams over Bickley. Bradley, absolutely superb. 19 possessions, Craig Bradley. Scholl, hand pass is good. Sexton. Diulio outnumbered 2-1. He's pulled off it well before the ball got to his area.
Yeah, free kick against Diulio for shoving his opponent there. They're very dangerous too. Thin practice near the boundary line. So good for the umpire to pick that up.
Kick into, oh, Madden, was that a push in the back? It was. And Carlton fans very happy about that. Big Justin gives off Bradley getting plenty of handballs. Well, good thinking to give it to Bradley. He's a good kick on the left foot. Delilio underneath it. Here's Tommy Alvin, smothered. Rashudo, Maynard. Hand pass to Maynard again. He taps it on. That was from McGuinness. Oh, caught with the ball was Anderson, but gets his boot to it. Tapped on by Wren. That was good thinking. And he taps it over the line.
Brilliant tackle there by Steve Kernahan on Anderson. Great tackle. He went low, went for the hips. None of this silly rubbish, just throwing the arm out and giving the unnecessary free kick for a high tackle.
Madden clean possession once he got rid of Wren. Little 15-metre kick. Rashudo, the youngster, looks really good. Jamison from centre half back. Over the centre of the ground. Robrin, no mark. He'll take a free though. It's against Sexton.
There's a player injured. I think it might be Diulio, is it? He's limping badly. The Carlton medical staff running out to assist him.
Oh, gee, he might be able to sprint, Greg Williams, but can he cover some ground? He gets it across to Bradley. Centre wing. Here's Madden. Anderson at ground level.
Trip.
Here's Ron Diulio.
A lot of trouble, Drew. Ron.
Too good. He's kicked a couple of goals. Sexton to Williams. And Greg Williams, 22 disposals.
A poor kick that was from Anderson before. Hand pass from Visca on to Scott Lee. He's looking down there for Jamison. No, it's not. In fact, it's Randall Bone. Bone and Modra. Out he comes, dives and marks this time in front of Silvani, and he must lead all the time on Stephen Silvani.
And Ron Diulio being carried off. McCormick about to come back on. Let's have a look at this. There he is falling over his teammate there, and that could be a knee injury, I think. Unfortunately, we see a lot of those happen that way, don't we, Peter? A player going to ground, another player falling over the top.
You almost see the knee bending back, can't you? Here's Tony Modra for his second goal. He must right to left. He kicks out, swinging it back, and he sneaks it in for a goal. Modra has kicked 2, and Adelaide fighting hard to get back into it. 12-5 to 9-6.
There's Tony Modra now, 68 goals for the season. He's kicked 2 goals, 2 for the day, which makes his tally 68-25. So that's pretty good kicking, Peter, for goal, isn't it, from a full forward, if you can get that sort of conversion rate over. And, of course, Tony Modra leading the goal kicking before today by 10 from Jason Dunstall.
Modra, just 2 goals for the game for the league's leading goal kicker. Out of the middle we go, but it's chopped off here and grabbed by Visca. Up towards inside half forward. A climb by Dean and a mark. Always wears that elbow guard on his left arm these days. Peter Dean towards the outer side of the ground. Brown stretches forward to take the mark. Williams, Jamison did all right, the underground hand pass, but McKay's there from all fours to Williams with Anderson. Anderson met by Gleeson. Lee, standing start, short of half forward. McKay, slight push, gets away with it, takes the mark.
Little chip pass. Bradley having a million kicks in this term. In towards half forward again. Waiting back is Rashudo to take the mark.
They're falling down across half forward at the moment, Carlton.
And so are Adelaide too, as we see Lee in towards half forward. Oh, good mark. This is Bone. He's taken a couple of good marks and kicked beautifully to Modra before. Another great kick. Modra pushed underneath it.
Oh.
There's Silvani. Kick it away. Here's a chance. Racing after it is Modra. Now let's see what he can do. He tries to tap it on, but he went without it. This is Heaver. And some of the Adelaide forwards have got to work a little bit harder. Heaver brings it in towards Madden. He has it fisted away by Wren, which was great play. Sexton. Michael Sexton on the left foot. Kicks it wide. Bradley should beat McDermott for speed. McDermott after Bradley. 2 of the South Australian State of Origin players. Still going, Chris McDermott. Ooh. Bradley lying on the ball. Oh, boy.
I'll tell you what, he was very lucky he wasn't collected there. I think it was Scott Lee charging past with Tony McGuinness. Craig Bradley over the ball there.
He was hovering over the ball. He was. Stiff, not,
he was very lucky not to be collected, though.
Yes, as Lee came through. But centre wing. And the boos are from the Carlton supporters. And there's Ron DeLilio getting treatment.
McDermott today just 3 kicks, 10 handballs against him. Bradley 17 kicks, 5 handballs. Heaver, Bradley, another hand pass, away to Hogg. He approaches 50, drives it long. Kernahan, oh, terrific!
Yes.
Sensational Stephen Kernahan.
It was a great mark, wasn't it?
Wasn't it a great mark? Nigel Smart just checking with the umpire. Hey, what's going on here? Did he hold me or what? Maybe a little bit of holding both ways there, but Kernahan, the ability with his great height and reach, to just chip in there. And well done. I think the umpire, a very good decision by the umpire just to let that go.
Kernahan kicked 3 in the first quarter. Oh, what's he done? He's missed from about 18 metres out. Max Stevens on the boundary line. What about Ron DeLilio?
The situation doesn't appear that bad, Drew. It's a right knee injury. The physio and doctor are having a look at it. He had some ice on it, but he has been walking around, so that's good news for him. It doesn't appear at this stage to be too serious at all. Well,
remember that miss by Stephen Kernahan? Oh, there's a good mark. A very, very good mark taken by Madden. Geez, playing well.
Well, he was just about off, wasn't he then, Big Justin?
Well, both ruckmen playing good games.
7 marks now to Madden. Well,
not often you see that. There's a bit of a shove out.
I remember Peter in 1985 when he was runner-up to Brad Hardy in the Brownlow. He marked everything that came his way, Big Justin. His marking has fallen away a bit over the last couple of years.
It's a throw in forward pocket. Madden versus Wren. Wren trying to get front position. It's Kernahan, in fact, coming in to do the ruck work. Rashudo on to Jarman. Tregenza, he went without it. So that lets Carlton in. Heaver. Ratton. Quick kick. Gleeson marks 40 metres from goal, and a bad miss by Tregenza that's caused that turnover.
His stats, he's been averaging 26 disposals, Tregenza. Look at that today. Only 5 kicks and 2 handballs.
I think Simon Tregenza's just got to work a little bit harder, as we see Adrian Gleeson from directly in front, normally an accurate kick, and he splits the centre for a goal. That's his first, and a handy one for the Blues when it looked like Adelaide were coming back. 4 goals the margin.
Well, that is a handy break at the moment, isn't it? 24 points. There's Tregenza just overrunning that ball, allowing Beaver to chip in there and get that quick hand pass away, and on the end of that, Adrian Gleeson, who's been very busy for Carlton this afternoon, and he kicked his first goal.
Carlton back out to a 4-goal lead, and they've increased it into the breeze, as every team who's kicked into the breeze has outscored the opposition. Williams, a high ball to the 50. Spalding is there. Knocked away Rasciuto. With him is Bradley. Rasciuto looking for the line. Bradley after it again. Ball out of play. Well played, Craig Bradley. He has had just the best month of his football life.
Yeah, it's good body-on-body stuff from both players there. Young Rasciuto and also Craig Bradley.
Won the Foss Williams medal for South Australia against the Vics in the State of Origin. Mark and goal of the year last week. Top form for the Blues. Here goes Dean breaking clear in the centre circle. Ducks a high tackle. Off to Greg Williams. Carlton looking $1 million. He goes to the goal square. Kernahan from behind. Interfered and gives away the free.
He could have went, I think it was Spalding. Had a chance to pass that one to Greg Williams.
Robrin trying to receive from Smart. 2-on-1 here. Maynard, oh, good play by Scholl. Still in play though. Taken by Robrin. A sweeping hand pass. Finds McDermott. Here's Maynard on the left hand to McGuinness. They really need McGuinness firing. McGuinness in towards the pocket. The lead is on a diving attempt. He's looked good since he came on, Randall Bone.
McGuinness's first kick for the quarter too, Peter.
Amazing. Randall Bone in towards Modra.
Free kick.
It's a free kick against Modra in the back, but he shouldn't have been leading to that pocket anyway.
No, it would have been very difficult to kick a goal from there, as we've seen.
Who's kicking?
Well, look, the whistle's gone. Surely the players know that the whistle's gone, and Modra's continued on.
And I think it could have been 50 against
Exactly,
Modra.
that's my point.
There's Peter Dean, but I think he would have been better off than Bone booting it long to the square. Half back for Carlton. Here's Williams. Very, very quick with the hands, Greg Williams. There he is again. Gets it in, but Maynard, oh, he's caught. Has he got it? Umpire said he did. Bradley again has been magnificent, Craig Bradley. The kick in towards the half-forward line. Scott Lee almost gave away the free kick. McCormack's, in fact, he did give away the free kick, holding on Adrian Gleeson. Gleeson in towards the pocket. Kernahan and Smart. Kernahan, good mark. The lead is on by McKay. He's also got Heaver. He's found Heaver. Heaver on the left foot. Hooks it goal. McKay lets it go. It's a goal to a little rover. Heaver. Heaver has kicked 4. Carlton lead by 5 goals.
Yes, that's a fairly big margin now. Just on 6.5 minutes to go in this third term. It's been all Carlton's quarter again, as it was in the first term when they dominated proceedings. The advantage back to 12 points at half-time. They led by 28 points at the quarter-time break. And now the biggest margin of the match.
Just under 6.5 minutes to go to three-quarter time. The Crows need 2 or 3 or 4 before three-quarter time. Then again, we could say, well, they're only running into the breeze in the last quarter, the way this game's gone.
Well, they've got too many players not doing enough. Jarman, McGuinness, Tregenza, they're just not getting touches.
Anderson's been quiet. His stats are down.
Yep. They're all the good players.
McDermott's stats are down.
Madden got it to Williams, out to Heaver. Brent Heaver's kicked 4 goals, doing particularly well. He's decked afterwards by Rowe. Umpire saw that, and it's a relayed free up the ground to be taken by Spalding.
Another Carlton player in trouble behind play. I think it's Michael Sexton.
Spalding centres this out in front of goal. To Madden! Off hands, Ratton! Another goal! Well, Carlton haven't won 3 games in a row this season, And the way they're playing, they'll make the finals for the first time in 5 years.
Yes, they're playing real pressure-type football, and players such as Scholl, Ratton, DiUlio's made a difference. Their on-ball players are hard at the ball. Hoover's been capable of kicking goals in that forward line, and here's that very good goal and snap from Brett Ratton. So a 6-goal quarter again by Carlton, into the breeze as they did in that first quarter.
They've been far more desperate, Carlton. You watch centre bounce. This is where they've been desperate. Madden. Here they go again. Free kick almost to Gleeson. Gleeson tries to see. Because they're getting in first for the ball at those bounces, they're getting the benefit.
Yes, Jarman was hanging on to Gleeson.
Well, Gleeson in towards half forward. Kernahan's got about 4 to beat. Wren went up. Couldn't take the mark. Out it comes from Rashudo. Tregenza got it. Oh, they've lost it again. Oh, Craig Bradley. Have a shot, son. He kicks it in a goal, and he thought about passing it.
He thought too much about it, didn't he, Peter?
That's
because
right.
He was only about 40 to 35 metres out. Had he gone directly at the goal in the first instance, maybe just too unselfish there, Craig Bradley.
Yes.
Trying too desperately to do the team thing.
Exactly.
And he's had 19 kicks, 6 handballs, Craig Bradley.
Peter McKenna would have had no worries about what he would have done there, Drew.
Yeah.
Straight at goal.
And
Dead right, and kicked it.
Yes, a legend with Collingwood and also Carlton. A big season with Carlton, Pete.
You're the only one who remembers that, I think, Drew.
Ah, yeah, came here one day, saw you get a kick. Sexton's recovered all right. Bradley has had a magnificent third quarter. Up to Spalding. We've got 4.5 minutes to go. It's 37 points the lead to Carlton. And Craig Bradley has been magnificent.
The kick in towards full forward. Free kick. Oh, could have been the smart. Oh, look at the pace. Fraser Brown. Another one to the Blues. Yes, right through the middle. Good play. The Blues on fire, and the Carlton fans roar with approval. Carlton 16-7, getting them right on top of Adelaide 9-6.
And a 7-goal 2-quarter so far by Carlton. There's a replay of that. Maybe Kernahan, no. Good umpiring, I feel, letting that go. Yes, letting that go. Fraser Brown, and he's got pace to burn, getting away and slipping in for his first goal.
Well, a Carlton victory would get them in the 6, and they'd take Adelaide's place in the 6. Bickley. Anderson. Gee, they need 2 or 3 quickly. Jarman. Offline. No score.
Adelaide this quarter, Drew, has only been able to manage 2 goals won with the breeze, supposedly.
That's a big breeze.
Madden and Dean. And whenever it's been a close contest for the ball, Carlton have gone that little bit harder, as Dean did then. A free kick there. Had to be played to Spalding. Spalding marked it anyway. In towards full forward. He's looking for Kernahan. Smart ran hard at it. Good player, Nigel Smart. And they lock it in there at half forward. It'll be a bounce. But just not enough good players for the Crows. They got too many down, and Carlton playing pressure football, team football. I really want this. Dean, the big thump to half forward. Here's danger. Greg Williams. Oh, magnificent hand pass at the Fraser Brown, who tries to hook it, but the pressure was put on by Jamison, and that forced the error.
Yes, he did well there, Jamison. It looked like an almost certain goal there. The hand pass, not bad from Greg Williams, letting Fraser Brown run onto it. Well done, Rod Jamison.
You can't keep him out of it, Williams, can you?
No, he's very creative, isn't he, Pete?
High flyers there. Madden was there. Kernahan. No mark. Comes to Rashuto, who has been a fine player for Adelaide. McKay does well. Plucks it out of a nest of legs. Williams to Madden. Oh, top mark by Wren, who palmed it away from him with one hand and then gathered it with the same hand.
Bickley now playing on Craig Bradley.
Kicked by Bickley.
Oh,
Bone.
that's a mark.
Gee. Got a very good grip on it.
No mark.
It deserved a mark.
What do you mean? You have to hold
Have a
it,
look at
Peter.
it. Bang, and he's
No.
whacked around the neck.
Good decision. Play on. Make them hold it.
Bertie, you're a hard man, Bertie. There's a kick by Gleeson to half forward, and the mark taken by Kernahan. Danger here for Adelaide. In he comes. Oh, Greg Williams has got it. Adelaide will be in trouble here. Williams hardly ever wastes the ball.
Taking a long time though, Greg Williams.
Yeah,
He can go into the pocket there to Gleeson.
He's looking for an option. He'll wait until he gets it, and there it is. He's a champion, Greg Williams.
Now that is poor manning up though by Adelaide. How much time did they have to get back and man up on each and every player?
Exactly.
Because Greg Williams took a long time sizing up his options.
But that's been all day that Carlton have been far more committed than Adelaide. They've wanted that ball a lot more as Alvin ran into that space, and they didn't man up Adelaide. Tommy Alvin from directly in front. 40 metres. It's a wobbly kick, and it clears the pack for a goal. It went through at about 8 foot in height, but he's kicked the goal, and look at this, 17-7 to 9-6.
He's now out to 49 points, that margin.
Greg Williams, 14 kicks, 14 handballs with a quarter to go.
As he's been in everything, hasn't he? His first opponent was Bickley. And I think Bickley looked as if he was picking up Bradley there at one stage, but maybe now.
I think Bradley and McDermott are still there.
Yeah, you're right.
Bickley, I think, still with Williams. He's had a tough day, Bickley, who had 44 possessions last week, and today 18 with a quarter to go. But his opponent, 28. 39 seconds to go to three-quarter time. 109 plays 60. The Crows, one of their problems has been to win in Melbourne. They did beat Richmond in the first round, but lost their last two. It's looking like they'll lose 3 in a row in Melbourne. And they play such stirring games at Football Park, but they haven't got the 44,000 yelling for them here at games in Melbourne. They've got to find it from within, haven't they, Bernie?
Well, that's right. It's a mental block more than anything, isn't it, Drew? But today, Carlton a very determined and committed side.
Tregenza pops one over the top. Time running out for a score for the Crows. Jamison. What a quarter that was by the Blues. Into the breeze in that quarter. They kicked 8 goals to 2. Carlton 17-7 to 9-6.
So the umpire to bounce the ball. This is Peter Carey to bounce it. Huge task for Adelaide here. They did play a great second term into the breeze, but, well, Carlton very, very desperate. There's Bickley knocking it on. Chance for Robran. Robran further afield to Tregenza. Now Rowe from 35 metres, and Rowe has missed to the left. That would have been a handy one first up. Started all then with Wren at the centre bounce. Wren and Madden have had a magnificent duel. Both players have been good for their sides.
Well, teams have been run down from a 49-point lead in the last quarter, but rarely into the breeze, I'd suggest. Jarman! And he's got a goal. Two goals to Andrew Jarman. Actually, the Crows have started this final term just like they started the second. The only difference was Rowe missed with his. At the start of the second, they kicked 5 straight in 10 minutes.
Well, it's quite amazing the goals kicked at this end of the ground today. If you had have a look at the flags in the windsock, you would have thought all the goals would have been kicked down to left of screen. Andrew Jarman, one of the players we said, Peter, really needed to lift because his stats today fairly ordinary. 7 and 6, 7 kicks, 6 handballs.
Yeah, not enough. 7 goals the deficit. Simon Madden, Redden did that well. Well played by the big fella. He roved it and he went on with it again. Scholl, quick kick to half forward. Fraser Brown at the back. Taken away by Rashudo. Rashudo on the left foot. You can see that hold up in the breeze. So we're not telling fibs about this win. Kick down there to Robran from Tregenza. That's better play, or an ordinary hand pass over the head of Rowe. He waits for it to sit. He's got it now. Gets it to Ben Hart, who's been quiet in recent times. Out there towards Anderson. He'll swing onto the left foot. Anderson hooks it back, and look at that. Straight to McKay. That is not good play, Greg Anderson. He's got to learn to kick on the right foot. Mark taken down there by Visca.
Here's kick to half forward. Bone. No mark. Comes out to Lee. He steers it low into the breeze, looking for Rowe. A rugged spoil by Sexton. Still Sexton. But Lee gets the handball in. Heaver will take a free kick against Anderson.
Anderson's stats very disappointing too today. 10 and 3. And has been averaging Just over 24 disposals per match.
Brent Heaver, who came to Carlton from Melbourne. Kick up short of half forward. Wren punches down. It's back in the middle of the pack and will be Carlton free to Spalding. With the breeze, Kernahan one out with Smart. Big climb, what a mark that would have been. Now a baller.
Great attempt, wasn't it, Drew, from Steve Kernahan? He kicked 3 goals in that first quarter. Nigel Smart was moved back there. Ben Hart was taken away from him and moved up onto that forward line, and Steve Kernahan hasn't kicked a goal since.
Kernahan doing the ruck work against Wren. Dragged off it was Rashudo. Kicked away by Bickley. There's no one there for the Crows. It's all Carlton. This is Brett Ratton. Ratton can chip it to the pocket. He was looking there for Alvin. McDermott hot on his heels, but the ball rolls over the line. Forward pocket for the Blues. Impressive performance again by Carlton. They're in great form. There's Wren getting it to Jamison. Jamison looking for an option. Jarman, oh, he put Tregenza under trouble. Oh, they've lost it, Adelaide. Fiddling around with it. Big man, look at this. In towards Kernahan. Oh, great mark. He got the free kick anyway from the shoulder, and he took the mark as well, the Carlton champ. He's kicking for goal number 4, but great play, man.
Wasn't it? This handball, pretty ordinary, but as we talk about it, Steve Kernahan kicks his 4th. 4 goals, 1 to Steve Kernahan. And now the margin, well, just slipping completely out of Adelaide's reach, I would say. Big Justin, very happy with that piece of play there. And look at Justin. That's the most pace he's shown for many a day, Justin. Dashing out there and a long kick into that forward line. Good use of the body there by Steve Kernahan on a very difficult opponent, Nigel Smart.
Stephen Kernahan, 4 goals today, 34 for the season. Brown, who spent the first quarter on the ground with 1 hand pass.
And has replaced Ben Hart. So it's a pat on the back to Andrew McKay, playing at half-back for Carlton.
Ran, but Madden, McGuinness, some sort of a kick at it. Alvin taken high and will take the free kick. The free kick's at 29 to 21 in favour of Carlton. Towards full forward, Heaver at the back. Gets it going Carlton's way. Trouble for you, Maynard. Trouble for you. Bradley, 30 metres out. Kernahan won't make it. Oh, rushed through for a behind.
Went for the safety, Peter, there, didn't he?
Yeah.
That just shows the amount of pressure that the Adelaide side's been under. That player was Visca, fisting it through there.
Well, the Adelaide bench looking on, and they don't look too happy. Scott Lee, their half-back, Earl Spalding back with the flight, couldn't take the mark, and it rolls off hands over the line. But well, we don't want to harp on it, but their playmakers have just gone out of the game, Adelaide. Tony McGuinness hardly been sighted since half-time.
No, at half-time his stats were 8 kicks and 8 handballs, and now look at that. He's only had 2 kicks in the second half, Peter.
Chris McDermott to centre wing. Well, mark dropped there by Ratton, and he was grabbed high then. And the umpire spotted that, and a free kick will come back to centre wing to Brett Ratton.
Wouldn't there be a role for Ben Hart somewhere? He's an All-Australian. When they had made a surge in the second term, he was right in the thick of things. If not on McKay, somewhere else.
Well, I would have thought he's too good a player to be on the sidelines. I agree with that, Drew. Maybe just somewhere else in the back line.
On the back line, definitely.
He was just too big a task, wasn't he, picking up Kernahan?
Well, here's Andrew McKay, who impresses everyone who sees him play. Madden and Wren. Wren discipline. Chance for Carlton. This is McCormack, a quick kick. In front of goal is Ratton. Can he kick goal number 5? He's thrown off the ball. Scott Lee trying to get it out. And the umpire rightly will bounce the ball right in front of the Carlton goal. So Scott Lee, very honest, dependable player for Adelaide over since their inception into the competition.
Right in the goal square, and the skipper sees it through for a behind. Adelaide have won their last 2 games. They beat Brisbane up at the Gabba, which is no mean feat, and they beat Footscray by 45 points last week in Adelaide. He is smart. But things seem to come unstuck when they come to Melbourne. In Melbourne this year, they've lost to the Demons, lost to Collingwood and lost to Essendon, and now they'll lose to Carlton, although Wren takes a fine mark.
He's tried hard, Drew, hasn't he, today?
5 marks and 21 disposals for Wren. The kick up towards half forward, Sexton.
Yeah, Sexton's got right on top of Robran. Really shut them out of it. McKay shut Ben Hart out of it. Now here's Bradley, who for 3/4 probably best man on the ground. That time poor disposal. Andrew Jarman on to David Brown. Brown on that left foot chips it. Oh, he's kicked it straight to a pack of players, but here's roved it well. Chips it in towards Maynard. Maynard strong overhead, races into an open goal, Rodney Maynard, and puts it through for a goal. That's his first. And Adelaide kicked their 11th, 18-9 to 11-7.
Well, that goal coming because at that time there, Spalding was taken from the ground. He was Maynard's opponent, and Oliver had about 100 metres to make up. He was replacing Earl Spalding. As you can see, Oliver now going back to the centre half forward position with his opponent there in Rodney Maynard. So that was the reason that Maynard was able to kick that goal.
18-9 plays 11 goals 7 with 18.5 minutes to go at Princes Park. Very dark here. Nearly turned the lights on. There's Ratton out near centre wing, number 7. He goes back to Bradley. Mightn't have been the best option. It was Brown. Ratton goes in again to Alvin. Christo. Carlton on the run again. Had a choice of players inside. Hogg found Williams. Williams skirts around. Good hand pass up the ground. And a chance for the Blues here. Shot for goal by McCormack. And he kicks it. Paul McCormack hasn't seen much action today. And that is just his second kick.
Williams stats once again. Look at that. He's had 7 marks, 14 kicks and 15 hand passes. And spot on with that one again, right onto the chest of McCormack. And Greg Williams has had the most handballs in the competition and leading in disposals, averaging 30 per game. So he's up with that again.
Well, I think we should make a comeback, Bernie, in the football.
Who should?
You and I, and stand up around the centre of the Carlton ground and hang around Greg Williams. You'd have to get a kick, wouldn't you? There he goes again. Now towards Bradley and Gleeson. Gleeson further afield. Matthew Hogg into an open goal. It's another one to the Blues. Great turn play by Carlton. As they're going on with it in this last quarter. 29 plays 11-7.
And started in the middle again from Greg Williams. He's had now, Greg Williams, 30 disposals. So he's been averaging 30 a game. That is a magnificent performance by the Brownlow medalist, Greg Williams, former Sydney player and Geelong player. And all too easy there. Just set up with winning the ball out of the middle, Carlton. And then a terrific performance by the Blues. They look a definite threat now for the finals, Peter.
They've come from nowhere.
David Parkin would be pleased. They've had 11 different goal kickers, so they're certainly not relying on Kernahan and a few stars only on the forward line. Alvin dishes the ball out. Hogg again. Bouncing end on end, doesn't clear the centre square. Oliver puts the hand pass out in front. It's 6 for Williams. Blind hand pass to Brown. Brown off the left. Another one. Greg Williams with a grin ear to ear.
Well, they should have two now. 31 disposals, Greg Williams. Almost best on the ground again. And I tell you what, Greg Williams would have to be well in the running for his second Brownlow medal.
No
Peter.
doubt about it. I reckon he'd be nearly favourite.
He would have to be. Look at this. Fraser Brown, he had plenty of time to steady. Bradley telling him the way home, showing him the way home. And terrific performance by the Blues.
Well, it's over 10 goals now, the deficit for Adelaide. And the general is in action in the centre of the ground. I refer to Greg Williams, of course. That's Anderson to half forward. Over the back, they'll mop up here, Carlton, by the looks of it. McKay is a very impressive player. I like him as a footballer. Dean, there he is again, Andrew McKay. South Australian himself. Angelo Christo on the Brett Ratton. Ratton will chip it in towards the pocket. and he finds Adrian Gleeson 50 metres from goal.
He's been very busy too, Adrian Gleeson. Coming in for kick number 15.
Bradley was calling for it in short. He probably could have given it to Bradley too, a little chip pass. And he's not happy, Craig Bradley, hands on hips. Adrian Gleeson kicks it in high, in towards full forward, up go the hands of Madden and Wren. And off hands for a behind to Carlton. I think Bradley talking to Gleeson behind, and I reckon it was worth a little chip pass.
Well, he was always going to be just on the...
Yeah, too far out.
Yeah, just too far, wasn't he? Kicking from about 55 metres.
Particularly at this stage of the game, it's worth a try with that short pass.
1-2, work between Smart and his teammate Maynard. Kick by Smart. Outnumbered 2-1 is Lee, but takes the mark. Kick by Lee. Not a great disposal. Dean charges straight at it and gets rid of Brown. And the ball out of play. Well, Carlton's showing grit, resolve and class here today. They're heading for a hat-trick of wins and a place in the 6. And who knows what the rest of 93 will bring to the Blues. Bone can't take the mark. Heaver and the ball out of play.
Too wishy-washy today, really, Adelaide, haven't they?
Yep.
One-handed business. It's not on.
I honestly don't think they've put in anywhere near enough effort except for the second term. Carlton got a very strong defence, so Sexton and Dean and Silvani.
Now, I'd like to have a look how Heaver disposed of that ball there, Peter. Did he dispose of that legally before he was tackled?
I missed it. Can't comment. There's the kick in towards Matthew Hogg now. Hogg will bomb it in long. He's looking. Kernahan and Nigel Smart. Push out against Nigel Smart. The umpire had a good view side on. Kernahan was in front, and the captain has got it and will kick for his 5th.
Oh, pretty soft though, I think, Peter, wasn't it?
Let's have a look.
Kernahan made it look a lot worse, didn't he? He threw himself forward.
Not a lot in it. I think he did have the initial little push there, but there's Steve Kernahan kicking for goal, and it's right through the middle. So the Carlton captain has kicked his 5th, and this is now a procession, Bernie.
You would have kicked fair dinkum, Peter. 1,200 goals if they had played those free kicks when you were playing.
You didn't like it, Bernie?
Oh, I didn't like it at all.
There it is, look.
Look, he just throws himself forward.
Not
There's
a lot
nothing in it.
No, you're pretty right when you have a look at it again.
I tell you what, you had to earn him when you were playing, Peter. Especially when Cowboy Neil was thumping you behind the ear.
Cowboy Neil was on me. I was always 30 metres out to the flank.
69 points the margin, and it was 49 at three-quarter time. Here's Williams fighting hard out to Alvin. They're stepping through them. The umpires have been bowled over. Kernahan can't take the mark. McDermott. Now that is about his 7th kick for the day, McDermott.
And McGuinness too, Drew. He's been unsighted in this second half.
Bickley has had a bath from Williams. Jamison to centre half forward. Bone from behind. That was Robrin from behind. Well done, Rowe. Brown, Robrin. But look at the pressure of the Blues. They lead by a mile. Well played, McKay. A South Australian against a team of South Australians, and he took it away from them. Bickley.
Well, he's very strong, Andrew McKay. Bernie, he showed it then.
Oh, he's got class.
Here's the kick from Bickley in towards full forward, but the mark taken by Dean. They've got some class on the back line.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so is that player.
Sexton. Yeah, he is a good player. Here's Jamison. Beautiful kick by Jamison. Finds Stephen Rowe. Rowe's about 45 metres from goal. We'll watch this with interest. The distance of this kick. Probably the grandstands up there from right in front and to the right of screen are protected by the wind. Over to the left, it's a bit harder. Oh, he's kicked straight into the man, trying to get the extra distance. Matthew Hogger's there. Eventually it's tapped on. Rashudo, Tregenza, Rashudo. Scott Lee. Tony McGuinness. Dodging. Onto the right foot goes McGuinness. He's looking down there. Silvani and Modra. Modra punches the ball away. Silvani's won that contest. Here's Oliver. Stephen Oliver wide, and the Carlton players lead in the race for the ball.
He could have shared that ball, Oliver, but he said Oliver kick. Up over centre wing. Visca goes the paddle. Rashudo. Like that one, did you, Bernie?
Oh, yes, that's good, Drew. I'll have a kick. Very good. Well, they can share it around today, the Blues, because free kicks in this last quarter, 6 to Carlton and 0 to the Adelaide side. But Carlton definitely the side that's been making the running, so they're getting in first and earning the free kicks.
Raking left footer by Anderson. Nearly a mark to Robran. Sexton.
That was the interchange effect there. Rouvray came on and took the mark.
I don't think Fraser Brown saw him coming.
Pretty hard to tag.
Sexton.
Pretty hard to tag an interchange player. Heaver doing well in defence, as well as kicking 4 goals when he was forward. Away to Ratton. One chance for Carlton, which was no chance. McCormack against about 4.
This is a good overhead mark, Randall Bone.
Into young too, Peter, only 19 years of age.
Well, he's showing a bit of promise.
Got a bit of height about him, 194 centimetres.
Well, they've got a bit to work with. Rouvray's got some talent too.
He doesn't look all that mobile though, Randall Bone, 98 kilograms. So big Justin.
Look at this, Justin Madden playing a great game. Sean Wren's playing well. As both ruckmen have been a credit to their sides. Sean Wren's easily been Adelaide's best player.
I know Big Justin's played his 250th, but it's not his birthday as well as it, Pete. Did you check that?
McCormack to Scholl. Now to Ratton. Now, where's Kernahan? The leader's onto the pocket. Bradley and Kernahan, and there's Steve Kernahan. This will be a difficult kick. He's kicked 5. He's going to kick from 50. Sets it up in front of goal. 2-on-1 here. Oh, and the one wins out. Look at Greg Williams. Great mark, and that was just sheer judgment.
Well, this goal, I think, will put the seal on a great game by Greg Williams. 8 marks. Coming in for kick number 16. He's had 17 hand passes. Maynard complaining that maybe there's some interference there, but definitely
no way.
not. Definitely not.
No way.
A mark should have been paid and was.
Greg Williams, the Carlton champ, kicks it through for a goal. Well, he's got to be best man on the ground now, I'd say. 23-10 to 11-7. He just never wastes the ball, does he?
No, that's his first score for the afternoon. And a player that I've been very impressed with, Ratton's been good today too, Peter. And also on the wing, Brett Scholl, who's been terrific. His stats aren't great, but some of his smothers, chases and tackles, he is setting the scene here for Carlton this afternoon.
(23-10). So in the last quarter they've kicked 6 goals, 3 to 2-1. So at last the team with the breeze is getting the bulk of the scoring. It hasn't happened for 3 quarters. Williams there again. Gleeson burrowing through, kicks it wide, charging out at Heaver. He goes back to Brown. Over the top to Brent Heaver. Little left footer is good. And here is Oliver, 75 metres from goal. In the direction of Bradley is down there. Gee, they're in trouble, Adelaide, clearing the area. They're happy to rush it through for a behind with Shuto. Dominant performance by the Blues. They were beaten for a period of about 10 minutes in the second quarter, that's all.
And a relayed free kick up here to half-back Chris McDermott. Well, they've just had too many quiet players, Adelaide. Full marks to Carlton. They're having a purple patch, and they've certainly improved their desperation. They have had a couple of very lacklustre performances. Here's McCormack. He's getting plenty of touches now. Started on interchange, in towards half forward, up they go. Almost a mark taken down there by Hogg. Chance for Gleeson on the left foot. Well done, Nigel Smart. Now, Smart has not given up trying from the start of the game to the finish, Bernie.
He's a class player, Nigel Smart, especially with the job he had. He went back with Kernahan dominating early proceedings against Ben Hart. We see Ben Hart sitting on the bench there. He went to the forward line and did quite well for a while until McKay was put on him.
McDermott starting to get a couple of kicks in this last quarter. McCormack, good mark. Puts it out in front. Kernahan outnumbered, and Bone gets in front to take the mark. Just slap and tickle between the two. Randall Bone playing his first game this year and 3rd in his career. Kicked 2 goals with his first 2 kicks in league footy last year. This goes wide to Maynard. We've got 8.5 minutes left.
Shuto. Well, he certainly hasn't been the Crows' worst. He'd be in their better 5 or 6 players, I'd imagine. Nigel Smart still running up the ground. To half forward, they've fallen down here, and again they fall down. Uncontested, Peter Dean. And Graham Corns would not like that. Here's Carlton off and running again. McCormack having a picnic at the moment. On to Elvin. Elvin in towards half forward. Bradley and McDermott. And a mark. And 50, is it? No. Actually, McDermott's done a fair job on Bradley in this term.
Yes, Bradley vying for best on the ground at one stage, wasn't he, Peter? In that third quarter when he had 10 kicks.
Randall Bone to half forward. Robin at the back, can't take the mark. Mopping up is Peter Dean. He's got it. With a lot of balance, Peter Dean. Hooks it back. Tregenza drops the mark, centre wing. Still got it, Simon Tregenza. McGuinness a fumble. Tregenza back to Rashudo. Rashudo in towards full forward. Modra at the back. Modra. No mark as it's thumped away by Christo and through for a behind, but hasn't been Modra's day. He's been well held by Silvani.
Let's look at that. Since half-time, it's been 14 goals, 6 to Carlton. And 4 goals, 3 to the Adelaide side. And that's a domination of Carlton in the second half.
I think Silvani's off the ground, isn't he, Bernie?
Yes, he went off about 4 minutes ago.
Yep. He's been a crook. He's had the flu. There he is, Steve Silvani, right of screen with Ron DeLulio.
Short pass in. McKay. Oh, on his own is Alvin. 20 metres in the clear. He'll go over the head of Williams. Williams still in the chop, but Bickley gets it. Back to Rashuto, who hasn't been a bad player either. Jarman to McGuinness. Inside the 50, Modra. Well, Bronx cheers for Tony Modra, the leading goal kicker in the league. He's kicked just 2. He goes for number 3 across the face of goal and through for a behind. So, Tony Modra, 2 goals, 3 for the day, which makes it 68 goals, 26 for the season.
Christo to the half-back line. Oh, running back with a flight. That's a good mark, Michael Sexton. No one on the mark. So he plays on, gives it across to McKay. Good, solid player, Andrew McKay. The half-forward, Kernahan was there. Mopping up is Scott Lee. And he taps it to the line. Just over 6 minutes of play left in this term. Disappointing because in the second term when the Crows got back into it, Drew, looked like being a real contest.
Well, it sure did. They hit the front at about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Here's Bickley towards centre wing. Pitch dark here at Princes Park. Sexton. Man pass back to Christo. Losing ground. Gee, nearly ran too far, going the wrong way. Centre of the ground. Scholl takes the mark. Good run by McKay. Wobbly old kick. Kernahan at the back, and Bones taken another mark.
He can play.
He's taken 7 marks, and he spent nearly half the game on the bench.
Yes, and the one that Bernie wouldn't pay. Remember that one, Drew?
Never looked like a mark that
Well, this is Mark Visca.
Oh, shocking hand
Centre
pass.
of the ground is Bickley. Here's McDermott. Here's Anderson, who's been disappointing. Greg Anderson clears the head of Modra. Racing back after it is Spaulding. He should run this through, and he does. As he gets a bit of a shove, the Carlton supporters having a few words to say behind the goals here. Very impressive, Bernie, this performance by the Blues.
Yes, they've certainly developed something over the last 3 weeks. Their work rate has been absolutely magnificent this afternoon, and Greg Williams again adding to his stats, taking his 9th mark, coming in for kick number 17.
And yet, I can remember David Parkin saying before the Footscray game, which was 5 rounds ago, that their stars couldn't get a kick and they had nobody in the seconds who was forcing up.
Now worried about pace on McKay. Is he going to be a good player for many years for Carlton, Andrew McKay? Now it's Scholl. Back to Fraser Brown. The lead is on. No, he elects to kick on the left foot. Kernahan was calling for the short one. Now, is that on the full? No, it's not.
Well, is that a sign of overconfidence, Peter, going for a left foot torpedo?
Yeah, a little bit leery that was.
Rising.
He could have chipped it into Kernahan, I felt.
Just over 4.5 minutes to go at Princes Park. Clear lead to the Blues. Bone. Pulled off, it was Heaver. Tunnel ball, Kernahan to Bradley. Round the corner he goes. Alvin comes to Heaver, number 5. Well, I mentioned earlier the Crummers. Heaver's 1, he's got 5. Brown's got 2. McCormack 1. Alvin 1. Hogg. Dulio a couple. Ratton 1. Gleeson 1. So and Williams 1. So they've found something from their running plays.
Yes, there's plenty of variety there as far as the goal kicking goes. But another 7-goal quarter also by Carlton. Good sign is, Peter, they've finished off the match, leading by 49 points at three-quarter time. They didn't sit back.
Well, it's so tight. I think the rain's coming too, Bernie. The rain's coming.
I'll tell you what, if there's lights here at Princes Park, they would have been on about half an hour ago.
You can bet on that. It's getting very, very dark. Well, you can't see it on the screen. Well, McKay a rear fumble, but he still ends up with the ball. Here's a chance for McGuinness. Great tackle, Paul McCormack. And who's that? McKay again. He's still going on with a great play by the halfback, Andrew McKay, and they love him here at Carlton.
So they should too. He's been, well, he was unheralded, wasn't he, when he came here to Princes Park?
Runner-up in the McGarry, wasn't he?
Yes, he was Carlton's #1 pick in the last year's national draft.
Scholl gets the hand pass out to Ratton. Maybe more goals for the Blues. Coming up from defence, Christo, but his hand pass blocked. That was Tregenza. Comes to Jarman. He goes across the ground. Alvin's there. Punches on. That's worth a kick. Straight into the lap. Oh, Oliver. He should have grabbed that with one touch. Should have been off and running for a goal. Rouvray. Kick by Rouvray. Over the head of Robrin. Dean back there. Out of bounds, all right. He's close to the race there and close to a warm shower.
And young Oliver, he really played that a little bit like he's still back in the country, I think.
He looked very slow, didn't he, on that occasion?
But this is good for Carlton because it's tight at the top and every bit of percentage would help. Oh, look at him. He's caught this time. Is that holding the ball? No.
Yes.
Should have been.
Yes, I thought it should have been too.
Well, I agree with you, Pete. He was a bit lucky to get away with that, Greg Williams.
Well, it's a kick anyway now to McGuinness. Tony McGuinness. 12 and 10. Well, some players would be happy with that, but I don't think he would be.
Not since half-time, Peter, because he had 16 up to half-time.
He had a great second term. McGuinness, the kick in towards full forward. Did it clear the pack, or is it a mark? It's a mark, I think, to Fraser Brown, right on the line. Now Brown kicks it back. He had 2 options. He's found Bradley. Bradley over the top is to Christo. Angelo Christo, centre wing. Jarman after him. Christo, the left foot kick. Now Kernahan and Smart. Now Scott Lee. Oh, he's lost it. Ratton might get another one here, Brett Ratton. He's trying to pick it up.
Heaver.
Heaver, I should say. Now it's Scholl. An open goal coming up to Scholl, and he hit the post. Yes, I saw the 7. It was Brett Heaver, and he's the one who's kicked 5 goals.
Yes, I tell you what, Scholl's game has been excellent playing on Greg Anderson. Of course, he was a Foss Williams medalist in the State of Origin game against Western Australia.
Crows work it towards the outer wing, where Jamison takes the mark. Rouvray playing up the ground. Maybe the coach Corns giving players the use of other positions on the ground when the game's well over. But he is not used to being there. Might have seen a relative in the crowd.
I tell you what, Drew, they'd go back with not too many positives coming out of this game if they went through the players. I think Graham Corns would be very, very disappointed with this performance.
Kick by Ratton. There's Bone. And he's been amongst the best since he's been there. Here's Rowe, who shared the bench with Bone for the first half mostly. Hand pass is good to Brown. His kick for goal is offline.
There he is, David Brown. Spent a lot of time on the bench, but great performance by Carlton. There's Big Sean Wren having a well-earned rest. He was their best player by a mile. The kick to the half-back line. Christo tries to fist it on. Here's Chris McDermott. Now McGuinness. In towards Modra. He's caught out of it there. And Dean has played a very, very good, solid game. Here's Andrew McKay again. The long kick, a 60-metre kick, looking for Kernahan, almost a mark. Advantage paid. I thought the umpire was just about to pay the mark. McCormack dispossessed. In goes Oliver. Oh, did he cop it high? He was playing for the free kick. And he might have copped one there, but he was distracted off the ball. Time clock showing 5 seconds to go, so there'll be no more score. The bounce at half forward for the Blues. Oliver, there it is. The siren to end an excellent performance by the Carlton team. They have won convincingly. Only in one term did Adelaide get on top in the second. That man, we saw there, Greg Williams. That man also, Justin Madden, instrumental in this win, Bernie.
Yeah, certainly.
Great performance. There he is, the Carlton champ, best on ground.
Greg Williams again, best on ground. Madden, a terrific impact also. And very few Adelaide players could hold their heads up when they go into the rooms after this match. Very disappointing. They came over here as probably an even money chance, but Carlton really found the right balance today. They covered all their stars and put them out of business.
And a big score, 24-12 to 11-11.